Is A.J. Brown's hamstring becoming a concern? I would say yes. A.J. Brown might be on my do not draft list, not because he can't be amazing whenever he's on the field, but because there's growing concern that that hamstring is going to be a problem. Here is this report right here. We will discuss that in a second. A.J. Brown clearly hobbled in this earlier video. Rashee Rice, will he be a league winner this year like we've been predicting on this channel? Will he get a 1, a 2, a 3, maybe a 0-game suspension? We'll talk about all of those things. As you may have heard already, we did a live stream on it. He's playing weeks 1 through 4. He's already determined to be playing weeks 1 through 4 as his hearing with the NFL is scheduled after that time frame. We've got also Judkins, no charges. What's going to happen there in that Cleveland Brown running back room? And Isaiah Bond, moments, or really an hour after the Judkins news broke on the Judkins live stream, Isaiah Bond was cleared of his situation at the same time. And it's ironic because we talked about how if that didn't happen, there's something wrong, right? Why would Judkins' situation get cleared up so quickly and they just drag out? Now, every case is different, but then an hour later, the Isaiah Bond news came out. And then what happens? Right at that moment, within 5 to 10 minutes after that news broke, the Cleveland Browns sign Isaiah Bond. So it's just wild turn of events. Not only does Isaiah Bond sign before Judkins, because Judkins still remains unsigned, but Bond going through the same situation. The Browns bring both of them in. This is wild. It couldn't get any more crazy. We're breaking down all of that and more. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. We're live midnight Eastern pretty much every single night. Live whenever big news breaks, and live at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. Let's start off with the concerning news, which is the A.J. Brown news. This coming from Insider NFL Network, according to Mike Garafolo. I don't sense any great concern about Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown's hamstring with 3 weeks to go until they face the Cowboys in the season opener. But this most recent footage of A.J. Brown in a joint practice, kind of limping around, and he's clearly bothered. Now, here's the part that concerns me. Remember when I said like a while ago that if a player gets pulled off the field and they rest, and JJ's one we're going to watch for this, and then they get pulled off, they rest, and they go back, and then they get pulled off again. That means that there's a new issue, like a reemergence of the issue. And usually when you re-injure something, you're usually going not only back to square zero, but you're going past that because you're actually damaging it even more. A.J. Brown and Sirianni's never honest with the media. This is probably the worst coach you could ever go to try and find out if a player is injured or what injuries a team might have. A.J. Brown in this last clip of him really struggling with the hamstring, and watching him pull up with it, and watching him really like grimace and limp, and he's seriously limping and hampered with it. I'm not going near this. No one's suggesting that A.J. Brown can't be. Wolf says, who's drafting this early? Wolf, a lot of people. A lot of people. It's August 14th. Not to mention, we're on Underdog at midnight every single night. We've been drafting since like January, my boy. I mean, this is how it goes. And even a lot of non-home league redrafts, they're going like crazy right now, my boy. I don't know where you've been the last handful of years. But A.J. Brown is somebody I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole at his going rate, at his mid, let's call it, to top of round 2 ADP. Why? It's not that he can't end up being okay and again earning the value that he seriously could get you if he was healthy, of course. But all of the players that you can take in his stead, why would you even consider not grabbing a London over A.J. Brown right now? London over A.J. Brown is probably one of the easiest calls you can make this entire 2025 fantasy football offseason. For anybody to even contemplate this with this hamstring injury, it's near asinine. A.J. Brown is a risk. Drake London is not a risk. Drake London's walking into potentially a top 3 to 5 wide receiver season, and his ADP is at least where A.J. Brown's is, but he has nearly zero risk whatsoever. Every player could get injured. That's not something you're going to run from in particular, one player versus another, because everyone's got inherent risk of getting some sort of injury, especially players that get hit like these guys, getting caught up on jump balls, 50-50 balls. But at the end of the day, his offense has no questions. His offense is on the up. He's got top 5 numbers across the board, most likely heading in his direction in 2025. When you look at what he did last year with Penix Jr., he was overall in the season with Kirk Cousins playing trash football for a majority of the entire season. Red zone targets, he was top 5. Target rate, top 5. Air yards, top 5. 100 receptions was 9th in the league. 1271 was 4th in the league. 9 TDs was 9th in the league. 6'4", 215, just turned 24 on the 24th of July. With Penix Jr. was on pace in the 3 games they played together, on a 3-game pace, which would have extrapolated out to 125 reception season, 1,900 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Everything about this kid screams top 5 wide receiver season. He could be number 3. He could be the 3rd best wide receiver behind, let's say, Lamb and then Jamar Chase at 1 in 2025. This is the easiest call I could make the entire offseason. And he's available most of the time when you're when you're making a decision on the clock and trying to decide between A.J. Brown and another player. And if let's say he's gone, why would you not go Bucky? Why would you not go Achane? Why would you not go a handful of other players that you can get that are just much safer players? Chase Brown's even safer than A.J. Brown. You have zero excuses to take A.J. Brown with all of those options. Almost always one of them is available of the ones that I'm mentioning. So, you can play nostalgic games and say, oh, but the nostalgia setting in Smitty, A.J. Brown can be one of the best wide receivers when he's on the field. Yeah, that's absolutely the case. But why risk it when London can do that too and without any of the risk? London's offense is going to be top 5. London's offense is going to put him in a position to do everything I just showed you on that board and more. If London can do all of this with Kirk Cousins in the mix, what makes anybody think he can't be 110, 1,400, and 13 or 14 touchdowns, which would put him clearly embedded in the top 5 quarterbacks in 2025. This is the easiest call you can make the entire offseason. And as for Rashee Rice, I think that there's a real strong chance that this thing continues to go in a direction that nobody expected. What have I told you for an entire month? We've called this thing pretty damn good the entire offseason.
Let him cook.
Rashee Rice, this coming from ESPN's Dan Graziano. First, before I read this off, the news, if you don't know, if you're living under a rock, we went live on it earlier. Rashee Rice is going to play weeks 1 through 4. Rashee Rice has a hearing with the NFL at the end of September after week 4, which means that Rice is eligible to play weeks 1 through 4 as he awaits the hearing. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, this is bad, isn't it, Smitty? Don't we want him to serve a suspension earlier? First of all, to even head in this direction means that this could go a much different way than people think. Do you want to blindly accept 4 to 6 games when it could be 1 to 3? This is good news. This hearing being in September, this hearing allowing him to play weeks 1 through 4 is a signal and telegraph that this suspension is not going to be what a lot of people want it to be. And you get comments by a lot of casuals that say, oh, but Addison's going to get 3 games and Rashee Rice is going to get 2 or 3 or 4 games. How is that fair? To the letter of the NFL law, this man didn't have any proven alcohol in his system. That is a big deal to the NFL. It's a big deal in general. Yeah, what he did was reckless. Your boy called him a coward on the live stream, and no one went harder at Rashee Rice during that time frame when this all was going down. But we did the same thing with Kamara. We were so hard on Kamara. We told everybody what they didn't want to hear. No one else would have the balls to come out here and talk about this situation the way that we did, the Kamara situation, the way the Rice situation went down, the way we did. Okay, we came in and we were tough. I went hard on both Kamara and Rice, and I didn't let up. No pause needed. We went into that situation completely lambasting the both of them. No pause needed again. We were hard on these guys, and we're going to continue to be from a perspective of doing the right thing. But this isn't your mom's fantasy league that you're doing. Okay? You can't be caring about this. You got to be able to say, I got to think for my fantasy team. I got to think what's right for my decision making as a fantasy football owner. This is a business for me. And I'm going to look at this thing and say, you're winning a league with this kid, as we did with Kamara. People won leagues on the back of the advice of this channel, even when we were super disappointed and talked about the character of Alvin Kamara. We said draft him when other people wouldn't, and you won leagues.
Let him cook.
And as everybody's running away from Rashee Rice the last handful of weeks and months, we've been running into the storm. We've been running into the storm that we know probably won't be there. Like the tsunami that was supposed to hit the Hawaii Islands. It didn't come. Everybody got overly concerned about it. Your boy Smitty didn't see a tsunami coming like everybody else was anticipating on this Rashee Rice situation. And what have we said over and over? That this isn't probably going to go the way people think. And what are people going to do? Complain. If you close your eyes and picture this situation unfolding, what do you envision? You envision everybody going, oh, this is BS. The Chiefs are going to get away with it again. Yes, that's what you envision. That's what everyone should envision, because that's probably what's going to happen and is starting to unveil that way right now. This is Roger Goodell's golden team. Mahomes is his golden boy. Taylor Swift is going to say, we better be winning 4 weeks in a row. You better not put my boy Rashee Rice on the pine. This is wild that people even think that this is going to be treated fairly. You know, I'm not one for the conspiracy theories that the NFL's rigged. I'm not one to think that, oh, the commissioner is pulling all these strings and teams are doing what he says. But I am, however, in the group of people that think that the commissioner makes decisions that are best for money. And I am and that's my opinion. And I'm of the opinion that this is a league that is not going to weigh things the same. As we've said on the channel over and over, the commissioner has a heavy hand one moment, and the NFL is a heavy hand one moment, and they have a light hand the next moment. That is the nature of what's going on. And the bottom line is, this is America's team, whether you want it to be or not. Goodell is making sure of it. And if you think that this thing's going to go awry, and this guy's getting 8 games with no alcohol involved, with no repeated offenses, like Addison, in both cases, Addison repeat offender, and alcohol was involved, those require mandatory suspensions. Rashee Rice's third-degree felony, 2 of them, does not, to the letter of the NFL law policy, require a suspension. So I think he probably gets one. But is anybody surprised right now, aside from me, aside from a few of you that have been here from the beginning on this? Is anybody really surprised that this thing's going in a direction that no one expected? A direction that people are already going, oh, come on. Is anybody really surprised? Is anybody going to be surprised that if this thing went in the direction of, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, you really think it can't go there again heading into week 5 when he gets a 1-game or a 2-game or a 3-game suspension? And I'm not saying it can't be 4. I don't think it'll be 6 or 8. I think there's almost no chance of that. Anything can happen. But I think this is in the variety of the 1 to 3, and there's still a possibility that he gets a 0-game suspension, a big fine, and they say not a repeat offender, no alcohol involved. He's never been in trouble before. You're on probation, so all that stuff's going to kind of take care of itself. You better stay on good behavior or you violate your probation. You think what you want. You can dog Rashee Rice all you want. You can get in your feelings about it and go, he should get a year. This isn't right. You can do that, or you can react appropriately and go win a league, because Rashee Rice is going to win you a league.
Let him cook.
His ADP has been creeping into the 5th round. And now it's going to probably climb back with this news, because this is good news. Him playing weeks 1 through 4 is good news. And for anybody that says, oh, Smitty, this isn't good news, how could you say this is good news? I'm being told by the other channel, Smitty. The other channel is saying something along the lines of, according to reports, Rashee Rice is going to be able to play weeks 1 through 4. This is bad. Why? Because there's bye weeks, and I didn't prepare my team for bye weeks. And maybe he's out for a longer period of time when you need him the most. And I just don't like the way this is going. And we've already just hammered home that this is bad. So just continue. It's not good, Smitty. Let me tell you something. This couldn't be better news from a team perspective. You want to talk about, oh, it's going to be a 1, a 2, or 3 game suspension, which I think this telegraphs that it's going to be a lesser suspension. This is great news because of that alone. But number 2, the most important message here, the most important thing to take in is that this team will start off humming. Do you want LeBron James, or let's use Steph Curry, whatever player you want to, imagine. Don't think negatively of this just because you hate LeBron or something. But did you, or Jordan, let's go back in time. Everybody loves Jordan. Did you want Jordan to start off, if he was going to miss 8 minutes, you had to rest him 8 minutes, or he was suspended for 8 minutes or something? Would you really start the game off without Jordan? Would you really say, let's just go ahead and tip it off. Let's go 8 straight minutes, get down really bad, and then have to fight our way back, maybe get injured trying to fight our way back, struggle fighting our way back? Or do you want to try to get out to a big lead and then sit Jordan when it doesn't matter? Get some momentum, have everybody loose and liquid and feeling great, free-flowing. Yeah, that's the same thing. Who here would want you to, if you were this coach, to start off benching Rashee Rice, if this was the same scenario, for the first 3 games or whatever for the season? Not be in tune, not be in sync. You sit here and you got a schedule, and we look at the schedule, and we got the KC Chiefs. I'll put it right in the middle of the screen here. KC Chiefs, right here, right here. KC Chiefs, LAC, Philly, Giants, and Baltimore. 3 of those games are so critical for the start of this team. Do you think it's a coincidence that the commissioner says, let's have the meeting after these 3, and the Giants are not in a hard game, but you get off to a 4-0, 3-1 start this way, potentially, if you start all your players, the offense is humming, Rice looks phenomenal right now, and then you walk into the Jacksonville Jaguar game, which we know Jacksonville's got talent, but this is a team that can easily be beat by the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's start maybe the suspension right here. Or what if there's a delay? They meet, they reconvene, or they say a suspension announcement will come. We wait 2 weeks after the Detroit Lion game, or at the Detroit Lion game, or at the LV game, or if they're going to give them a 3 game, it's Jacksonville, Detroit, LV. Not a big deal. Does anyone not see that what's happening here? I mean, do I have to spell it out for you? They're going to start off 4-0, 3-1, and they need to, and they're going to be humming. And then you take Rice out after all the momentum's there, the cohesion's there, the rapport for everybody's there, and Royals is a little bit better. Royals is 4 weeks into playing football and getting the game and picking it up. Rashard Smith is a little bit better. Hollywood Brown's healthier. Like, what more? How much more can I spell it out to you? This is great for Mahomes. Mahomes goes to the moon. Mahomes has no slow start. And taking Rashee Rice out after 4 weeks, if they even do that, if he even gets a suspension, and it might just be the one game. It might not even be the Jacksonville game. It might be they delay for 2 games and they suspend him during the game right here. They suspend him for, let's just say it was the one game. I could see them coming in and saying, let's give a suspension during the LV game. Or it's Jacksonville, Detroit, LV, or it's Detroit, LV, or it's just LV in the middle of the screen. I mean, does anybody not see what's going on here? You think the commissioner, let's look past that LV game. You think the commissioner, let me see if I can make this, dim this a little bit. That way you can see me pointing to the, okay, let's do that. So do you think the commissioner right here, this KC line, you think he wants them to be at less capacity during Washington, Buffalo, and Denver? Does anybody really believe the commissioner is going to say, okay, week 5, Jacksonville, Detroit, LV, Washington, Buffalo, bye week, Denver? You think the commissioner is really going to have his golden boy, his golden team be without Rashee Rice during that time frame? I don't think so. Can win leagues. Rashee Rice to the moon. Mahomes to the moon. Mahomes he's not gonna struggle at all. No slow start for Mahomes, and no middle of the season struggle for Mahomes. His players are gonna be firing on all cylinders. Do it live. Mahomes Smitty approved. Mahomes stock to the moon right now, and go draft Mahomes in that 5th, 6th round territory at home leagues, and draft him in the 7th and 8th round while you can on Underdog.
Let him cook.
We'll be drafting on Underdog tonight. Promo code Smitty. Link is in the live chat. I'll put it right now. It's in the live chat. I'll pin it. This is how you play tonight. So make sure you hit the link now versus waiting. Let's go over the Isaiah Bond situation. I've made it very, very clear that I like Isaiah Bond more than I liked him, and still. I can't say this now because he's been sitting and you don't know what's going on with him. But as a prospect, I liked him more than Isaiah Bond, more than Matthew Golden. And these two guys, playing next to each other, everybody trying to decide which one was better. Matthew Golden, his speed enamors everybody, and then all of a sudden Matthew Golden floats to the top. This was once a 2nd round grade wide receiver that went undrafted because of the accusations, very similar to Judkins, and got thrown out just like Judkins' accusations got thrown out. It's a shame that Judkins got to get drafted, and then the news came out and he got to sit there, ferment, not sign his rookie deal, but at least be in positioning to get a certain dollar amount to be signed on a rookie contract. This guy, unfortunately, his news broke right before the NFL draft. Not a single team drafted him. And then moments after the Judkins news broke, this situation unveiled itself that he also had his case, not move forward and no charges would be brought. And then moments after that, the Cleveland Browns signed Isaiah Bond. And now the Cleveland Browns have Isaiah Bond signed before Judkins. This is crazy. It's crazy. But let me tell you something. This is a great kid. This is a really, really good wide receiver. I shouldn't say great kid. I don't know his character. I don't know how much of what was said was true, if any of it. It seems like there was nothing to the case. So it seems like he probably is a great kid. I don't know. We don't know him. We just know that the accusations appear to have been false because they got thrown out. They did not proceed with them. Same thing with Judkins. So we don't know. 2 cases in a row. It's a shame to watch these 2 grown men potentially have their life, and he really did have his life altered because of something that wasn't even able to, a case couldn't even be made. So it's a shame. But this guy right here, Isaiah Bond, I wanted him to go to Buffalo. I wanted him to go somewhere where he had a chance to be a number 1 wide receiver. I even wanted him to go to New England, because I think I would have, if it was draft day and that situation wasn't present, that he was potentially, looking at these accusations and all that, I would have drafted him over Kyle Williams. And I like Kyle Williams a lot. This is a kid that I was hoping would land in a different spot than Cleveland, But at the same time, Shedeur Sanders and Isaiah Bond for the future has a nice ring to it. And I think that there's a chance that he becomes maybe the team's future wide receiver prospect. I still like Judy. I still like what's going on there this year. I don't know that Isaiah Bond has a lot of time to catch up. So maybe he makes an impact later in the year. This is a great signing. But it sounds like he hasn't been signed yet, according to this report. But then I think they did end up updating this. Let me see if I can find an actual update on Isaiah Bond. Does anybody know if he actually just did sign? I think he did. This might be... I'll find out if there is an actual Isaiah Bond. He still plans to sign with the Browns. You know what might be going on here is he's keeping his options open just to make sure he doesn't, shake hands. Kramer, when he spilled the coffee on himself and he was talking to the attorney of, it was McDonald's or whoever, and they're like, we're gonna offer Kramer a lifetime supply of coffee and $100,000, and then they walk in and they say, we'll give you a lifetime supply of coffee, and then he gets to a deal. And he doesn't get the money either because he said yes too quickly. Yeah, Jackie Childs. This might be a case of that. So it sounds like he's going to the Browns, but it might not be official yet, so we'll hang tight on that. He's probably signing with the Browns is what the report is. And as I mentioned earlier, Judkins, his case got completely, you could say, thrown out. He's clear to make his NFL debut here very shortly, and he can sign with the Browns. He will not face any disciplinary action, as far as I know, because if there literally is nothing to go on. And if we read the report earlier as to how this was breaking down legally and what the verbiage it was, and the verbiage completely clears him. The verbiage, there's nothing the NFL could have that would make me think there's some sort of underlying discipline that could still come down. What I mean by that is the league has a lot of information. Sometimes the league has more information than the police. It's crazy. They do their own investigation. And even if someone was deemed to be innocent or charges were dropped, if the NFL still felt like they put themselves in bad light, they could still suspend them or hand down disciplinary action because they put the league in that spotlight. And they say that's still against the conduct policy, whether you're guilty or not. With this situation and the way that the wording was, I don't think there's a chance in hell that the NFL is going to come down on this kid, Judkins, who's already suffered enough. And I think they're just going to tell him, you're good to go, bro. You're good to go, because there's nothing here. There's nothing here. And I could read the actual thing to you, but it says there's no visual evidence. The fact that the accusations coming from the alleged victim showed photos of injuries, and then there was video footage of that same individual without the injuries at the same time frame that those photos were supposedly taken. And so there's no evidence. There was almost like evidence to support that her claims weren't accurate. And then the delay in her reporting it is also problematic, because they said that the Judkins accuser said that the legal document from the attorney, state attorney, said that if she had plenty of opportunity to report this when she was away from Judkins and still decided to wait. So it wasn't like a case where she was waiting till she was in a safe space because they were traveling. She had plenty of opportunity where he was not around to report it, and she didn't. So all those factors came together. The league will not, there's nothing for the league to even look at, even after the fact. Isaiah Bond probably finding a home in Cleveland before Judkins. Judkins probably signing his rookie deal here soon. If I had to guess when Judkins would hit the field in Cleveland practice-wise, probably Monday, Tuesday, something like that. But anything's possible. It could be expedited, and they could try and get this kid's career going. As for trying to decide who's better, Dylan Sampson or Judkins, make no mistake about it, Sampson is still in the driver's seat over Judkins right now, whether you want to believe that or not. I know a lot of the Judkins owners right now, you have shares of Judkins and you think, oh, that's going to the moon. Well, Sampson's in a little bit of the driver's seat. He'd have to really falter to lose some of the ground that he's made up. And you might say, well, this is the draft capital guy. This is the less draft capital guy. But at the end of the day, Sampson's been very impressive. Sampson's been running with the ones. Ford is technically still in play over both these guys as a potential starter for week 1, but he can't seem to stay healthy. So at the end of the day, Sampson's the one in the best position. Judkins comes back, will be an injury risk. This is kind of one of those situations where there's a lot of injury risk here, and he comes back, he's rushing back, and then he ends up getting hurt or has a soft tissue injury that just derails any momentum he's starting to get. And it's just a shame that he'll even be put in that high level of risk. Standing ovation for both Bond and Judkins for being cleared. Good luck to Judkins trying to get the job back from Sampson, who is the PPR guy no matter what. This team has already said, even before all this stuff unfolded, that Sampson, the sky was the limit for Sampson's PPR work, the reception work, the third down work. So he already has had that in his blueprint and path for this team's running back room. And so Judkins was always trying to be the first and second down back, while Sampson's the third down back, and they have a committee of sorts. We'll see if Judkins can get back and claw back all of the first and second down work in time. But I'm saying to you guys right now, don't discredit Sampson, who I had as a prospect. Even after the draft, I told you, Sampson's in not the situation I want, because the draft capital dictates that this guy is going to be the starter. This guy will be the third down back, trying to rip some carries away from Judkins every single chance he can get. But make no mistake about it, walking in before all this unfolded, Judkins was in the advantage driver's seat, even though I still, to this day, like Sampson more than Judkins. Judkins is a better player. Sampson is a better player than Judkins. Sampson's a better receiver than Judkins. Sampson is a shiftier running back. They both do things well. Judkins is a little bit more powerful, and you might want him near goal line situations, but Sampson is the better overall back, and I've said that the entire offseason. So you can think what you want because you have 17 shares of Judkins. I don't care if you don't want to listen to me, but there's still an opportunity for either one of these guys to take the backfield. That's all the news right now. Rashee Rice, Isaiah Bond, Judkins, major concern about A.J. Brown. Phone lines are open, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
And I got super chats to go through, so hang tight while I do that. If I add you to the phone line, just please mute yourself. Do you have any teams with Jamar Chase and Rice? Absolutely. I can't even tell you how many I have of those. I have so much Rashee Rice shares, bro. I've been cleaning up at the 4th round value. I'll show you my exposure on Underdog in a second. $10 hauler. How would you respond to this dynasty trade? My best friend offered me his Hampton and Najee for Stevenson and Henderson. I think I accepted. An hour later, he sent the offer back. I rejected it. You don't have to give it back to him. I mean, if this is your buddy and your friendship's on the line and he's one of those guys, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on, whether, how good of a friend is he if he's going to be mad at you over something like this. And at the end of the day, I would rather have Hendy. That's me. I'm a Hendy guy. I've always been a Hendy guy. While I do very, very much love Hampton, you guys know that. Everybody knows how much we love Hampton. This is HHH in a
jam.
An associate country.
H and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
There is a reason why. Just mute yourself, caller, please, and I'll be right with you, both you guys. There's a reason why Hampton's down, on the lower end of this graphic when we first started it. Of course, all 4 of them are HHH and Associates, and we're going to have an updated graphic. But Hampton is the safer player with the higher ADP that we're drafting ahead of all the other 3 because you kind of have to. If you want to own all 4 of them, or you want to play the game of ADP to your advantage, Hampton's got to go earlier. You can't take Hendy in 3. Hendy's got round 5 creeping into round 4 ADP. So you can get both of them by drafting Hampton first in the 3rd, and Hendy in the 4-5 territory, and Harvey in the 5-6 territory. But I've always been a Hendy first guy. But when it comes to drafting, you got to get creative. But I would say I'm not taking that trade back, bro. If you want Hendy and Hendy's your guy, this is why you play the game. You're not playing the game so that you can give your friends an advantage when money's on the line so that they can win. Is Bond must add on waivers in Dynasty? Absolutely. If you have room for it. I mean, it depends who you're dropping, of course. Case by case, very specific question that needs to be, answered, delicately without knowing that information. Rate my trade and redraft full PPR, Jamar Chase and RJ Harvey for Genty, Travis Hunter, and T. Higgins. Jamar Chase and RJ Harvey for Genty, Travis Hunter, T. Higgins. I think this is a really tough trade. At the end of the day, I love Genty. I love Travis Hunter. I like T. Higgins a lot. Jamar Chase and Harvey might. Chat. Let me know what you think on that in the chat, please. Please vote on that. Let me know what side you would rather have. That is a very tough one. I'd probably say give me Jamar Chase and RJ Harvey. And that's hard to say because I love Genty. I love Hunter. I love T. Higgins. But, well, I mean, that's tough. I don't know. It's so tough. I would lean toward the Chase side. I think you can get more. If you were to do that trade, if you were sending, let's say, Chase and RJ Harvey for that package, I want someone better than T. Higgins, and then maybe I do it. I just think Jamar Chase, he almost commands more. Whether you like the deal or not, he almost just commands more. And this one right here from Faney says, 1 QB, 3 wide receiver dynasty. Do I already have... I do already have Stroud, Fields, and Nix. Trade Nix and Little Bill, which is Corey Krosky Merritt for Rashee Rice. It's 1 QB, and you already have Fields. I would definitely take Rice. Absolutely. Yeah, and a 1 QB, and I love Bo Nix, but absolutely do that trade. Fields is good enough, bro. You're going to do just fine with Fields, and Rashee Rice wins the leagues, and you draft him higher anyway than Bo Nix. Got the Mahomes Rice stack ready. We'll have to have them going with Puka, London, McBride, Hampton. That's awesome, Andrew. Congratulations on that. And caller, just mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right with you. Just put it on mute, though. Thank you. Andrew, appreciate you with that super chat. This one here from Perry. Superflex Keeper League. Can't keep QBs. Keep 2 out of these players. Neighbors, 3rd. Garrett Wilson, 5th. Or George Kittle, 8th round. Jeez, man. I'd probably say Garrett Wilson 5th because, well, no. Kittle in the 8th gives you the ability to still, like, let's say you were to go Neighbors in the 3rd. You got to think about it from, okay, Neighbors in the 3rd with no 3rd rounder, or George Kittle in the 8th and you still get a 3rd rounder. So, like, George Kittle and who's that 3rd rounder? Is it Harvey? Is it Hendy? Is it Hampton? Is it Garrett Wilson himself? So probably would be George Kittle. And I don't know that I care about the keeper value because you should, keep 2 out of these. Okay. I'm going to go Neighbors and George Kittle. Neighbors in the 3rd still gives you, I'm sure, future keeper capabilities. And for that reason alone, you got to smash the hell out of that, Perry. You can't let that, even with the toe and all those concerns, you can't throw away that future keeper value. Also, please rate my draft 2-spot, 12-man Bijan, AJ Brown, Chase Brown, Rashee Rice, DJ Moore, Tet McMillan, Harvey, Fields, May, and Joku. Love this team. Mason, love Mason. Still like Ray Davis. Don't sour on that. Still like Sampson. Don't sour on that. Tootin still got tons of upside. You got hit with a little bit of bad news on the Ray Davis and Sampson front, but at the end of the day, they're still very, very valuable. I would say from the 2 spot, AJ. I don't love AJB. I just said that, and I've said that all offseason. Chase Brown. It's a good team. Really good team. I'd say one move away from being an 8.0, though. Whether it's getting rid of A.J. Brown and getting into a safer vehicle. And I don't think that there's a whole lot of overall panic in the industry. I think A.J. Brown is still very significantly high value, trade value-wise. So I would get rid of him, try and get into a 2 players, like a Travis Hunter, Harvey combo type of thing. I know that might not be, you can't do that exactly, but you know what I'm saying. And come back and give me those potential offers, and we'll sign off on them. Full PPR, 12-team Lamar, Kamara, Bijan, Mike Williams, Ted McMillan, Mark Andrews, Breece Hall, Algier, Bigsby. Penix, your thoughts on my team? I think your team's really, really good. Lamar, if I was to make any trades, I'd say that this team in a 12-man feels like it's in the 7 out of 10s. I can't give it an 8 unless you make some sort of monster move. I feel like you'd probably reached on Ted McMillan, which is something I don't advise people doing. I think going in round 6 or 5 is fine. I think that's win a league. 6 more so. And then think of where Ibuka's going. Ibuka's better than Ted McMillan. And I like Ted McMillan, but Ibuka could be a superstar. I'm not saying Ted can't be T. Higgins, star kind of good. I've always said that. It's just drafting Ted in the 3rd round, 4th round, it just seems high. Where did you get him anyway? Bijan, Mike Evans, Lamar. I feel like it's the 4th or 5th round, and that's where this team feels a little bit like it's missing something, like someone grabbed your 4th rounder or 5th rounder and took it off your roster. Oh, Breece Hall. I'm sorry, Breece Hall. Oh, maybe you got him in kind of the right territory. Let's see. Bijan, Lamar, Mike Evans, Breece Hall. Yeah, I like your team. Bijan, Hall, Mike. I'd say this is a 7.9. I'm still going to give it in the 7s because I want you to strive for better. The guy I probably would get rid of, I don't really trust Mike Evans on the year. I do love him, but he is getting older. He barely cracked 1,000 yards last year. You wonder if he slows down or starts getting soft tissue injuries. Mark Andrews is kind of an injury risk. You don't have Likely, even though Likely is going to be out the beginning part of the season. I think where you probably make out like a bandit here, bro, is once Golden gets some more value to trade, once McMillan gets some more value to trade, if Mike Evans starts off hot, if Kamara starts off hot, I do think Kamara could drop off. And so he think of Mixon last year. You want to make sure you're not holding Alvin Kamara walking into double-digit weeks. I think he'll fall off the face of the earth. So those are the things that concern me. Mike Evans dropping off, Kamara dropping off. There's still concerns about Breece Hall, but I still love Breece Hall, all in all. But mixed with all that risk, it feels a little bit like a mixed bag. But I'd say 7.9, make a move. Make some sort of 2-for-1 trade, and I'm going to love your team a lot more. You probably covered this, but just tuning in, Dylan Sampson is still worth rostering. Absolutely. It depends on who you could pick up, though. If you could pick up Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, I'd rather have him. But I still like Dylan Sampson a lot. But Dylan Sampson did get punched in the sack a couple times today in this situation because he was in the driver's seat. Now he's still in the driver's seat, but Judkins opened the door and got in the passenger seat, and he's staring at him. So it's going to be a battle, and you don't know how it's going to shake out. But I do like him. But Jesse, if you give me a waiver replacement, I can go ahead and look at it. And mute yourself real quick, caller, and then we'll potentially tell you whether you need to make a cut or not. But definitely depends on the situation. 14-team keeper league, no first-round pick. Keep Breece in the 2nd or Devontae Smith in the 3rd. Neither. I wish I could say you have Penix in the 14th. That's great. Neither one of these guys deserve to be in those rounds. Well, it's 14 team. Still, bro, it's still very questionable. If you think that Breece Hall in this format is going to go in round 2, you could grab him just to secure it. But, Mr. Frost, can you tell me what players will be available in the 3rd and 4th round? Because I still feel like that's borderline. You might regret not being on the clock during that pick and say, damn, I kind of like that player a little bit better than Breece. Damn, I kind of like that player a little bit better than motherfreaking Devontae Smith. Can you tell me what you think those picks would get you? It's a 14-teamer, but I don't know. I just traded AJB for Rice, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 10-man. Love it. 1 QB dynasty. Love it. My team is ready to win now, and these scared Scotties are laughing at you. I'm going to laugh. Why are people so bad at fantasy football these days? Why in home leagues are people getting worse? The fact that a whole group of grown men would laugh at you getting Rashee Rice right now as if it's just throwing more bad takes on bad takes. They're all embarrassed that they didn't take him. They're embarrassed of themselves. Their mothers are embarrassed of them. They're absolutely embarrassing themselves laughing at someone because they didn't do a good job drafting and they let Rashee Rice sit out there. That's why they're complaining. Let me go to the phone line. Go ahead, Ron Navy, then over to Travis, then over to John, then over to 646, then over to probably the 231 caller. So let's start off with Ron, then Travis. Go ahead, Ron. Everybody else stay muted, please. I got to switch the phone line over. Hang tight real quickly. I know you can hear me, but I just need to make this one switch and we should be good. All right, go ahead, Ron. Now everybody can hear you. I apologize. Go ahead and start over.
All right. It's me. No, that's fine. how the heck does the Steelers, needing wide receivers, let a talent like Isaiah Bond go, especially to their rival Cleveland? That just irritates the hell out of me. I mean, we all know.
It doesn't sound official yet, so he's probably still kicking tires, it sounds like.
Yeah, but the Steelers, they keep dropping the ball over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, they're just like, they're not. We're already in preseason. We don't have a valid number 2 wide receiver, and they haven't been doing anything to bring in anybody. So and then Bond gets out there, and he gets cleared. Why wouldn't you go after a talent like that? That pisses me off.
I don't know, but he's a great player that should have been brought in. But I think the commissioner told teams not to do it. I think he strong-armed them. Said don't do it.
I mean, I still drafted him as my last pick in some underdogs just to have him.
Yeah. Because
I figured if he gets cleared, he's gonna go. I mean, no matter where he goes, he's got a chance of doing good things.
Yeah. This super chat, 10-team Superflex: Mahomes, T-Law, Milroe, Hall, Bucky, Harvey, Chase. It's a good team. St. Brown, London, Pickens, and Njoku, Keaton Mitchell. I like it. Really, really good squad. Mahomes and T-Law is pretty good for a Superflex. Love the Milroe pick. Maybe even look at Milton. I'm telling you. Hall, Bucky, Harvey, Chase. I don't know how you got this squad. That's a great team, bro. We had somebody yesterday that had a very similar team. Mute yourself real quick if you could, caller. We had a really similar kind of situation where he said Superflex, but we didn't really hear him. And he did kind of mumble it, and I think it was Chris or whatever. And we like Chris. Chris, you don't have to feel bad about it. I think his name is Chris or Chad or whatever. And he had a team very similar where we didn't know it was Superflex, and we're like, how'd you get this team? But this is a very good team, very, very good. Other people, maybe a team or two has a better second quarterback, but there's no way they can make up the discrepancy they have against your, entire squad. Very, very good, solid team, my boy. Big Profit taking it to the moon. All right, Ron, real quickly, anything else? And I'm going to go around the phone line. I know you're Steelers, but I can't really run that.
One more thing, and then I'm going to get off of here. Judkins, the Judkins situation. Comparing where his ADP falls, like an underdog, is his ADP worth picking him up, knowing that he's still going to have to, we don't know how that's going to all pan out with Sampson and all that.
Well,
Sampson seems to be the better value of the two, ADP-wise.
Yeah, Sampson's going to drop down to probably, he's already going like in the I want to say like the, 120, 130s. I think Sampson goes into the 140s, so he becomes practically free, or maybe even 160s. And who knows where it's going to be? Let's just say 150s plus. Judkins is going to climb up to what I said was 8.1. And I predicted that right when this news dropped without any information. And we had 2-3 people report in that he went at the 7-8 turn. So this seems exactly where he's going to go, at least initially, and it might climb.
Okay.
This right here seems a little too high for my liking, because there's still going to be plenty of players that I like right there a little bit more than a guy that is not guaranteed the starting job. He's just not. Whether you want it to be that way or not you, Ron, but people out there that have him want him to go to the moon. But he doesn't have a guaranteed ticket on the shuttle. He has an opportunity, but this is not something where he just gets put right back where he was. This team drafted Sampson as well for a reason, and if they're impressed with him and he's gained so much momentum, it's hard to say that Judkins will rip it from him. Judkins might return to that. He's a sleeping giant waiting behind Sampson to trip up or get injured. And then if he goes in, that talent that everybody believes he has will shine through, and maybe he keeps the job from that point. But anybody thinking he just walks straight in, I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I would not be drafting for that. And people are taking him in the 7th and 8th round right now because he's a shiny new novel toy that they didn't get to draft on their teams until now. And they're like, this is a new guy. I'm sick and tired of drafting the same players. I'm going to be crafty, and I'm going to take Judkins at 7.5. Well, go ahead.
That's why I'm asking you this question. That's why I asked you that question. Exactly.
Yeah, and it'll bump other players down that we love even more, and then it's going to be great. So at the end of the day, it's good. All right, Ron, appreciate you. Call back if you got another.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, later.
All right, later. Bye.
Yeah. Travis, you're live?
Hey, so with AJ Brown, this lingering hammy thing, I know their ADPs are, I don't know how close they are, but I know Puka goes before him. But if you had to just rank the three players for like a redraft league, just in terms of what you like, who you'd rather have on your team, you had Puka, AJ Brown, Lad McConkey. How would you rank those three?
In redraft?
Yeah.
I'd rank them just like this in redraft. Puka, 1. Lad, 2. AJ Brown, 3.
Okay. And is that mostly the injury thing with AJ Brown? Just because it's lingering?
Yeah. I mean, I just can't take him in the second round. Not when I have my choice of so many amazing players that have no injury risk whatsoever. AJ Brown always has injury risk, and it's going to mount and compound. The risk will compound every year from here on out. And everyone can say, oh, but he's so amazing. You also got to remember that AJ Brown, for a majority of his career, has done a lot with a little. He's probably one of the most efficient wide receivers in the National Football League. And you could say that's a positive, and it is. But if things don't go perfectly for him, he ends up not getting those stats. He has to really over-deliver, and he always has. I'm not saying he's neglected to do that, but this is somebody that, like we've always said, remember when he's in Tennessee, imagine if he got 115 receptions, he'd have 45 touchdowns. But this offense in Philly lost their offensive coordinator. Jalen Hurts has struggled to throw the ball. All last year, he was trash throwing the ball. He really was. I know they won a Super Bowl, and I know everyone wants to talk about his leadership, and I'll be the first one to say, yes, you're right. He's a great leader. He's impossible to stop with a tush push. But at the end of the day, he had a very mediocre passing affair, and he just lost his OC. So I don't know how things will get better for the guy, and the tush push is taking a toll. I don't think people realize how injured he's getting doing this thing. And Sirianni lies about it. Sirianni went to the podium, talked to reporters. They asked him about Hurts. He said he was injured. And then I don't know. I forget who it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But a guy walks over. I imagine it's part of the training staff, or I don't know. It could have been somebody bigger than that. I just don't remember. And almost like whispers to him. And he goes, "Oh, never mind. Yeah, Hurts isn't hurt." And everyone's like, "What? What? You just said Jalen Hurts is injured?" And he's like, "Nope, he's fine." And it's like nobody can trust anything coming from these teams anymore anyway, but Sirianni's the worst to trust. And so we have no idea how injured Hurts is in week 5, week 6, week 7. This tush push is taking a toll on him. He's getting into a pile where multiple 300-pound linemen are just on top of him. And his own linemen, and everybody's shoving him, and his legs are getting twisted up. His knees are getting twisted up. And so eventually it's going to take a toll. My point is, I don't know what's in store for the Eagles this year. I'm going to make a prediction that things go very, very differently for them, as well as this I've been saying for this Kansas City Chiefs situation. I think the Eagles are going to have a rude awakening this year. Whether they still win the division or not, or grab a wild card spot, I'm not saying they can't make the playoffs, but then lose really early on. I just don't think this team is going to be firing on all cylinders. And quite frankly, it's not that bold of a take, given that the last time they lost their OC, they took a step back that year. Now, they still have a great defense. They still have a really good reason to, a reason of support. But I do have the Commanders winning the division. I do have the Eagles grabbing one of the wild card spots, but that doesn't mean they aren't taking a big step backwards. And I don't think the passing attack steps up like people think. Let me grab Hurts's passing numbers, but they were not, super impressive. You take away, and I'm not saying his touchdowns will be taken away this year, as tush push touchdowns, but when the commissioner in Dynasty, when the commissioner takes away the tush push, then he's got to be a normal rushing quarterback. He'll still get you like 10 rushing touchdowns, as will Bo Nix, but Bo Nix will get you 4,000 plus yards and 34 plus touchdowns. Jalen Hurts will not. What happens to Jalen Hurts when he can't get you the tush push production? 2,900 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, the 5 INTs. Okay, That I'm not have a problem with that, but he's not throwing a lot either, though. 2,900 yards and 18 touchdowns. He's not even a top 20 quarterback. And I know he missed some games too, but that's also part of the problem. So I'm definitely not on the AJB train at second round value. Would I get back in the third round? Yeah, I would.
There was this 8-game stretch there where Hurts was averaging 176 yards a game passing. Not even 200 yards.
He's not a great passing quarterback. He's a great rushing quarterback and a very mediocre to good passer. But his combination of everything makes him a great quarterback. Doesn't mean that we can't separate this, compartmentalize it and say he's a great overall quarterback. He's a great leader, but he also has a super team. You take away Barkley, and they aren't the same team at all. At all. If Barkley got injured, and that's another component here, because Barkley had 430 plus carries, I'm staying away from Barkley in general. There are scenarios we talk through. There are rankings where I still put him higher than most people. But at the end of the day, I'm admitting to people, I'm not drafting Barkley. Why? Because I can take so many other players that are safer than Barkley. If Barkley gets injured, which is very likely given the 430 plus carries, guess what happens to this offense? It struggles very badly because it can't lean on the pass. It can't, especially with a new OC. I don't see it happening. All right, real quick, Travis, let me get to these real quick and I'll be right back. 2 keepers to choose from, 10 teams, Superflex, JD5, Mahomes, Gibbs, Henry, JT, Bucky, Bowers, CD, Jefferson, McLaurin. Takes place in the first and second rounds. Takes place in the Smitty, hardest working fantasy man. Thank you, appreciate you. I don't know what. Let's see, 2 keepers to choose from, 10-man Superflex. Any players? You're keeping Gibbs and CD. They're the 2 best players. But I guess you could say Neighbors to carry it over. If it's as unlimited as takes place of the first.
Superflex, you wouldn't keep 85.
Oh, I'm sorry. Superflex. I'm sorry. Thank you. I've been missing that lately on some of the questions. My bad. JD5 and damn, do you just keep Mahomes and JD5 or do you risk it and keep, let's say you keep Gibbs and JD5? I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that was a freaking Superflex team. What do you think, Travis? JD5 and Gibbs or JD5 Mahomes?
As long as I can get myself like a Penix, a Ward, a May, even like a Tua, Dak. If I can get one of those type of guys, maybe even a Purdy as my second quarterback, I go JD5 and Gibbs.
Yeah, I'll lock it in as JD5 Gibbs as well, but I'm tempted to go Mahomes, but I think I'd rather bank on Nix or Penix Jr. I wouldn't take Purdy, but I would bank on Penix Jr. and get so Gibbs JD5 final answer. I got an offer for Jaden Higgins, Marshawn Lloyd, and Estime for Braylon Allen, Pollard, and Mooney. It's kind of like one of those trades where I mean, bro, we're waiting on something to happen for any of this to make sense, and is predicting Jaden Higgins is. How quickly he matures, and does Stroud bounce back at all? What's the offensive line going to look like? It's trash right now in my mind for Houston. And then Braylon Allen, we like him, but we liked him last year too, and then he didn't do as much. I really do think Braylon Allen could be something special this year if they do trade Brees away, and then you end up with 2 different starting running backs at that point. So I'd probably say, as much as I like Jaden Higgins and the idea of him, I probably would rather have the Pollard Braylon side. And then maybe Pollard you can move and do some sort of bigger trade with. I don't think the other guy's going to have as much trade value initially. So I would probably say give me the Pollard Braylon side, and then you end up maybe having 2 starting running backs. You have a lot more trade potential later in the year with Pollard and Braylon Allen. If Brees gets moved or doesn't get moved, but especially if he gets moved. Drop Sampson, follow up. Krosky, Merritt, Brashard Smith, Keaton Mitchell, Woody Marks, your waiver wire's loaded. So I'm dropping Sampson for Krosky, Merritt right now. It doesn't mean I don't want that to come off wrong, because people are like, I thought you liked Sampson, but this is a guy with a loaded waiver wire. So I'm gonna take Krosky Merritt. He's in more of a position to uncontested takeover. Potentially in play there. He could literally just take the job without an injury, and Sampson's got to fend off a lot. But you wouldn't be wrong to want to keep Sampson. You wouldn't be wrong to cut your kicker right now and hold both of them. That would be the smarter move, Jesse, because what if something goes sideways all of a sudden in this Cleveland situation? What if they tell everybody, we love Dylan Sampson, we're going to be back here on hitting moonshots for Sampson. So if it was me, unless I had Little, I'm cutting my kicker if that's at all possible, or I'm looking for another drop somewhere that you might not be thinking that I think is a worse option or a better option. Appreciate you. Let me go to the phone line real quickly, circle around here. Guys, I'm going to need you to go kind of quickly. I don't want to take full teams and do long breakdowns. I'm just going to hang up on you at some point if you're not getting to the point. Let me start off with, I think I was going to go to John first. John, you're live?
Yeah, Smitty.
Yeah.
Superflex Dynasty. I'm curious how you, for blind waivers bidding, like how you would value Milton, Thornton, Jalen Lane. Like, would you go all in on one of them, like go all in on Milton, or try to get two, so that the waivers don't go through until like a week before the season starts. So those guys are sitting there.
I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to this, but I don't. The thing that you're going to have to tell me, bro, is what historically you've seen happen. Like what's the most that... Go ahead.
Every year I'm surprised that people don't spend more.
Okay. So give me an idea. What's the most people usually spend on a pretty big name like that pops up, like a Horton or a Thornton?
Guys have dropped, everything on a guy. I forget who a couple years ago. I don't recall, but I know guys were bidding and someone, got somebody because they dropped the max.
Well, I think Milton's got some value, but I also think that it doesn't sound like the world's enamored with him in general. So I would go take a look at some numbers and try and pinpoint a very aggressive bid, but one that doesn't break someone's bank. So if it's like, how many dollars do you have, Fab dollars?
Yeah, we get I think we get 1,000. I got a little more. I think I got 1,100 though.
1,100. I don't mind going like. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I have no idea. You're gonna have to tell me what is a healthy bid on somebody. How would I know? You know what I mean? Like, there's leagues I have where everybody does full load drop every time. Everybody runs out of money by week 3, and everybody's doing 0 bids after that. But if you don't partake in that and do it back, you're not going to get any of the guys because everybody's scooping everybody up. So, I mean, you're going to have to look at it. Here, I'll put you on hold. You go do a little research, and I'll come back to you, and you tell me what a couple names and bids were. Names, bids were. Give me like 3 or 4 examples, and then I'll tell you what I think, okay? So mute yourself, go find that, and come back.
I'll try.
All right, Ryan, you're live.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
I got a 12-team redraft league, my home league. I got pick number 2. The guy picking first is 100% going Chase. I want to get Bijan. Problem is, when the draft comes all the way back around, I'm not liking any of those wide receivers there. We got guys like Hill, McConkey, Adams.
Question for you, though.
Open.
Are you liking the running backs there more?
Exactly. So I'm hoping Brown falls, Bucky falls.
You're hoping.
I'm at that point. Hoping those guys fall to the end of the second.
Hoping and thinking it's going to happen are two different things, though. So are you expecting the running backs to be more plentiful than the wide receivers? If you are, then just go CeeDee Lamb and be done with it. And then if you get Chase Brown and Bucky, you'll be to the moon. But if you think that you're just fearing one without what you should be fearing both of those scenarios, because what I've noticed the last handful of weeks, bro, unfortunately for people that hold that 1 pick overall or the 2 pick overall, is that this bottom of 2 and top of 3 are becoming problematic. The players that are left there are not what they were in March, April, May, June. We were getting home run steals. Bucky was there on the consistent. But if Kyren can fall there, then I feel very confident going Lamb, Kyren, and whatever player you feel fits the bill after that. But I don't know. It's up to you, bro. I can't tell you to go Lamb or Bijan. Bijan is probably a better choice, but
yeah, I think you're on the right track. That's what I was kind of thinking. Because I know Kyren will be there, so I might just go Bijan, Kyren, maybe Hampton in the third, just to reach on them, and you can go middle round receivers.
You could do that, or you just go Bijan, Kyren, and then get Garrett Wilson. I don't know.
I'm sketchy on Wilson, but he burned me a couple years ago.
Well, I mean, he's had
years ago.
Every year. I mean, he's kind of consistent, bro. And I mean, he doesn't miss games. He hasn't missed any games. I mean, he's been pretty consistent. And Fields and him, they played college football together. The rapport is super strong. I don't know, man. But hey, if you don't like that, if you think you can get Rashee Rice, so we'll go Hampton here. I don't hate this combo, but then you get Hampton, you get Bijan, you get Kyren, and then you get Rice and Hunter and Debo. You can get that. I love that. I'm fine with that.
Last one for you.
If
you were playing in one league, and you had to have Wilson or Hampton, who would you take?
Depends on all those things we just talked about. Unfortunately, I can't.
But just between the, not in that situation, but just like toss up between those two players, who overall do you?
They're
like
equal.
This year?
They're equal. That's whenever I can go either way. That means that all things are equal, and then it comes down to the situation. Because I always draft best player available. So if one's clearly the best player, I'm not going to switch it up based on situation, but because I can. All right, my boy, I got to go. Appreciate you. Call back later if you got another one. Yeah. Let me go over to this caller, 231. What's your name, 231, and where are you calling from, 231?
I'm calling from Cardinal Stadium. This is Acorn.
231 Acorn from Cardinal Stadium. Okay.
Hey, this is me, Smitty. This is Gump. What's up, man?
Gump?
How's it going? Yeah, this is me.
It doesn't sound like it. Sounds like you, Gump, but it sounds like maybe your brother or something. Are you sure this is Gump? Say something Gump-like.
Huh?
Say something Gump-like.
Hennon didn't do very good, did he?
Oh, yeah. Gump, this is really okay. Gump, what can I do for you, and where have you been, first of all? Why'd you go missing for so long?
Huh?
Why'd you go missing for so long, Gump?
Oh, I got broken ribs right now. I got hurt.
How'd you get hurt? Real quickly. Nothing.
I just tripped and went flying. I went flying through the air. Bad football preseason. You know what I mean?
I got you.
But anyway, what happened? What's going on right now is all of a sudden Saturday we're drafting. Now you know I got one league that I go in, and I'm in the 7th spot.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Okay, keep it
moving.
moving.
And now today's Thursday, and tomorrow's Friday, and Saturday.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, then 2:00 p.m. I'm crunched over here, and I'm thinking, gosh, I'm at the 7th spot. Should I just grab Josh Allen at 7?
And at 1 QB?
Yeah, one QB.
Finish him.
We haven't heard from Gump for a while, so I'm not going to hang up on that one. No, Gump, you don't grab Josh Allen in the 7 pick and a 1 QB. Come on, you know better than this. Come on, Gump. Why would you grab Josh Allen in the 7 pick?
Okay, give me 5. Okay, give me 5 players that you possibly could be there. That's good pick at 7. What are you thinking? 5 players.
Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb.
They're not going to be at 7.
But what are you talking about?
Maybe Ashton Jensen might be there.
All right. Thank you, Gump. Anything else, Gump? Gump, I'm not taking Josh Allen at 7. It's a 1 QB. You know better than this. This is elementary fantasy football.
Okay, what happened? I know, but the problem is that we're 1 point PPR right now. It changed from half point to 1. So how's that going to change everything for me?
Oh, that's why you got.
How's that going to?
Why in the hell would you draft Josh Allen at 7, Gump?
Well, I just threw it out. I just threw it out there.
Okay. All right. Hey, Gump, mute yourself. Instead of hanging up on you today, we're going to celebrate Gump Day. Gump, just mute yourself. I'll come right back to you in a second. I got to move on.
I need help. You don't only got one shot, kind of like NMM. You know what I mean? NMM. You know what I mean? I only got one shot.
Genty, St. Brown, if you want to go a little crazy. Genty, St. Brown.
St. Brown.
BTJ is fine. There's nothing wrong with any of those guys. You want to go JJ with the hamstring? Do you? But come on, bro. You're wasting everyone's time talking about Josh Allen at the 7 pick in a 1 QB. We got bigger fish to fry. All right, mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right back with you. 318 caller. Right. What's your name and where are you calling from? 318.
Hey, Smitty. It's Tyler from Louisiana.
What's up, my man?
Hey, I need your opinion on 2 players. This should be pretty quick. I heard you mention there might be a Marvin Harrison video coming out soon. But I'm usually getting Marvin Harrison as my second or third receiver paired with Rashee Rice. I need your opinion on if you think he can have a really good season and what you think about Jonathan Taylor.
All right. Love MHJ. He had 8 TDs. 8 touchdowns is pretty damn good for a season everyone can't stop complaining about. Kyler Murray has been a very good quarterback at times during his career. I'm not overly concerned about that situation. I mean, the fact that they struggled to connect, but Kyler Murray still fed MHJ 8 TDs, that's insane. And the fact that there's literally like 4 or 5 identifiable plays. You could do this with any player, but these are like really, really obvious plays where MHJ was wide open downfield. Kyler didn't even throw it to him when there was not a single defender around. And if you just take 2 of those plays, you'd have 2 more additional touchdowns, which would put him at 10, and you'd have 1,000 yards even. Just off 2 of those 60-yard bombs where he was wide open. There wasn't a player in sight. So what would happen if we walked out and he had 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns? He'd be going in round 2 right now, not in round 3, 4. So you can take that however you want. I really have faith in MHJ. They drafted this kid so high. I mean, you think they're not going to make him a focal point equal capacity as McBride? You think people are like, this goes through McBride? They're not. They're totally interested in getting the ball to MHJ. They're going to fix this. Everything will go through MHJ and McBride, and there's enough to go around. Kyler can't throw that much. JT's a complete avoid for me until he falls into a territory of draft capital that he'll never fall into. There's no way I'm taking him in the second round. The offense will not be moving the football into the red zone as often as people want. The quarterback situation is a mess. Offensive line is questionable. There's a lot of concern for me walking into 2025 with JT. This is not a player that I'm recommending anybody take in the second round.
Gotcha. I'll take Bucky. Yeah, Bucky, usually I've been doing a lot of mock drafts, and I've been taking a lot more Bucky than I have JT.
Should.
But I've seen a lot of people be really up on JT recently. But yeah, I think I'm going to go Bucky. Hey, real quick here. Shout out to the Fantasy Football Show on Instagram. I was driving to work today and saw the Rashee Rice news. Clicked on the live stream while I was on the way to work. It got me the news first. It's awesome. I appreciate you, Smitty. You've been right all season. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Manny, calling from California.
Manny from California, 408. Is that right? Manny from 408. Okay.
Yep.
What up, Manny? What can I do for you?
So I asked you for a little bit of advice not too long ago, but I'm in a keeper league, and we got Lad McConkey gone off the board, Bowers off the board, McBride off the board, Bucky Irving off the board, Jaden McDaniels, and then the unofficial ones are like Brian Thomas Jr. I want to say Chase Brown. My question to you is this league is pretty running back and quarterback heavy. I can take Jacoby in the 15th, Baker for 12th, or I can take Josh Allen in the 3rd. And I don't know my draft position yet.
Who would be going in the 3rd round considering this is a keeper draft?
So per historical data, I'm going to say all the elite quarterbacks, Lamar, Josh, Jaden's gone, so that just leaves Jalen. I'm pretty sure they're going to be gone by the second, since we have basically a lot of the first rounders off the board.
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, Baker's still not bad. It's just, it's, so disrespectful that I can't say Baker. Go Baker. And I feel like part of me should say that, but I love Josh Allen, bro. And the thing is, he goes in round 3, though. So like you're not getting any sort of value, just kind of locking in your 3rd round pick. And like you said, what if you get a top of round 3 pick, and you could have got someone else? But I guess do you think that in the 3rd round it's going to be lacking a little more than you're expecting, or like what do you think the 3rd round pick? Give me a couple names that might be there when this Josh Allen pick. Just assume you have like a mid to a little bit higher than a mid 3rd round pick. What names are going to be available and not locked down?
Wow, it's hard to say because, like I said, I mean, shit, we got Ladd off the board. Since this league is super running back heavy, I'm pretty sure a lot of the wide receivers will still be up there. I'm hoping for maybe like an Evans, or you said in the 3rd round.
Well, that's where you're going to keep him, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
worst case scenario is 6 points per TD pass.
Yes, it is 6 points per TD pass.
And it's 1 QB.
1 QB league, correct.
Okay. I would say Allen in 3's fine. I mean, he's a staple, bro. I mean, you're going to be in it every week because of Allen. It is 6 points.
That's what I just figured the value was there because, like I said, I'm pretty sure the Lamar's going in the second. Yeah. They're probably even going to be reaching Mahomes in the second to third, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I don't like the opportunity of Baker and this 3rd round player. Like, you got to consider that, but at the same time, Allen's such a force, bro. Week in and week out, you're gonna be in it every single week because of him. I think it's fine. I don't think you'll regret it at all. Is there a way to win the other way too? Sure. I mean, Baker and the 3rd round player, let's say it's Evans, like you said, that's good, but I don't know, bro. I think I'm just going to end up, I'm not even going to need the Baker pick. That, like, if you're thinking about what's better, Josh Allen and the player you draft where Baker is, or Baker and the player you draft where Josh Allen is, because you're going to be able to kick that problem down the road every draft, every round. So it's not like you really have to compare that. I'd take Josh Allen. Final answer.
Okay, cool. And then last thing, out of the receiving core at Buffalo, who do you like? I mean, I know I'm favoring Khalil, even though he's a little banged up. I'm not a fan of Keon, but I think Josh might come in and do his thing,
Yeah, he will, but I don't know that he's going to be consistent with who he uses. So I'd say Keon Coleman if I had to bank on somebody, but I'm not really drafting any Buffalo Bill wide receivers. I'm drafting Josh Allen. I'm drafting Ray Davis. I'm maybe drafting Kincaid if the price is practically free. And that's kind of it. I'm not drafting a lot of Shakir. I'm not drafting much of anything other than Josh Allen's going to command all that. And I think James Cook's a complete avoid. And that's how I feel about that. But Josh Allen.
I agree with you on that.
All right, got to go, bro. Call back if you got another one. Thank you. 231 caller. Hold on. You're cooking up that information. Let me go over to Mohammed real quick. Mohammed, what can I do for you, pal?
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up?
Real quick, I don't listen to anybody who talks about fantasy football except you. So I trust you, my man.
I appreciate
I just want you to rate.
Okay.
So it's a 2 QB league.
Okay.
I got Goff, Barkley, Gentry, Hunter, Worthy, Laporta, Stafford, and ETN.
I like it. I think you did good, bro.
Okay. And who would you put on your flex? Would you put ETN or would you put Pacheco? I got Pacheco also on the bench.
Well, read your team. Read your whole team off again. I'll be honest, I didn't hear part of it.
Okay.
But some of it.
So I got Goff, Barkley, Gentry, Hunter, Worthy, Laporta, ETN, and Stafford.
Yeah. Okay. And the 2 players you're deciding between are Pacheco and who?
And ETN for the flex.
I think we got to wait. I don't think we have an idea yet. Right now, I would lean Pacheco until we get further clarification as to why ETN started the last game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not feeling super in the know. None of us should feel super in the know as to what's really going on there.
Okay. I also just picked up Bond. I had no idea about this guy until you mentioned him. So he was sitting on my.
Yeah. Well, who'd you drop? You got to be careful. Who'd you drop?
I actually dropped. I'll tell you right now. I dropped Estimate.
Okay, I'm fine with.
Estimate.
I'm fine with that.
I got Mason for my bench anyway, so.
I'm fine with that. All right, bro. Good team.
All
Appreciate
right.
you. All right, later.
Appreciate you, my man.
Yeah,
Thank
call
you.
back anytime.
All right.
Gavin, you are live. What can I do for you, Gavin?
I need to pause the stream. My bad. I have Neighbors, and I heard like saying he's going to be injured and stuff later in the year. What would you trade him for?
Well, I mean, he's not injured now. He's definitely got the toe issue, but he's managing it. He's looking really good. He's probably going to be the number 1, number 2, or number 3 receiver for the first month of football.
I don't really want to.
Minimum. But he's got a huge injury concern later in the season if this team is off the rails. So,
do you think a good plan would be to wait till like week 8 or something?
Yeah, I think you trade him now, and you might be putting yourself in a kind of a weird spot, bro. I probably would wait, because if you trade him now when he goes up and I take that back. Test the waters. See what you could get. And so, like, let's say you could go get. Let's start off. This is what you do. This is how you make a trade like that. Some Neighbors, bro. 4, and then draw 2 lines, or however you're gonna do this. You can do it on a piece of paper too. All right. So now you got to fill these 2 spots. I'm not trading Neighbors straight up for somebody. I'm trying to get a combo. I'm trying to get a Rashee Rice and a Hendy. I'm trying to get a potential, Hendy and a player like that. Or let's say you go one step down to BTJ. You go to the BTJ team. This is how you do a trade like this. Go to the BTJ team. Figure out what your anchor is in this trade. Right now, your anchor is BTJ. So you write BTJ down. Go to the BTJ team. See what you could throw in to make this scale balance out in a deceptive way where you're making out, but they don't appear to be losing out because you like the players more than they do. So BTJ, and let's say he had a running back like Harvey, then I'm doing this. You want to make sure you're getting a player you feel can actually kind of compete with Neighbors, whether it's Rashee Rice, whether it's BTJ, whether it's London, and write down that player, London, BTJ, Rice, all 3 of those guys. Even if you went Garrett Wilson, this player over here you're going to be able to get a better player. You know, the lighter the receiver is that replaces Neighbors, the more this other side can be heavy on the scale. But if you go, let's say London, you're not going to be able to ask for the world on this side because London's close. But maybe you can slip in a Harvey if you throw in something smaller over on this side and make it a 2 for 2. Or if this is maybe a player like Rashee Rice who's going a lot later, you can easily pull this off without adding something. So just go through the motions, find an anchor, make sure you like both options, and then start making those offers.
Yeah, I got the one guy offered me MHJ, Travis Hunter, and Judkins for Neighbors.
MHJ, Travis Hunter, and Judkins for Neighbors.
Yeah.
In a dynasty, I'm not.
It's not a dynasty, it's a redraft.
Oh, MHJ Neighbor. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I still want more. I still want more.
Just find a guy I think is equal and just try to get somebody else.
I mean, if MHJ was like London or BTJ, I would do it. Hunter and BTJ, sure. But Neighbors
I could potentially get like a Rice and an AJ Brown with them, but I'd have to give up a little bit more. But,
again, AJ Brown's on the graphic, and I don't want him this year. So no, they know.
I really want Rice.
Go to Hendy. Yeah, go to the Rice team and comb it over. Go to the Hendy owner. Go to the Harvey owner. Go to the Hampton owner. Go to the Genty owner and see what kind of 2 for 1 you can do, or 2 for 2, and then come back to me when you have a couple of them. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. The 2-3-1 caller. Did you figure out what those bids were, bro?
That was me.
Yes. Are you back?
Yeah. What are the bids, bro?
I'm 2-3-1.
Oh, 2-3-1 hung up then. Or, I'm sorry, the other caller hung up. Gump, go ahead. You're back, Gump.
Well, who's the best? Who's going to be the best tight end? Straight up, without a doubt. Who's it going to be?
Who's the best tight end?
Number one.
Well,
number one.
Bowers or McBride? And there's no just Bowers. McBride might outscore Bowers this year. I don't want to hear any nonsense from anybody today on that. It could happen either way.
So you're saying McBride?
No, I'm saying it's Bowers or McBride. Stop with the nonsense. If anybody's saying, "Oh, it has to be Bowers," or it's McBride or Bowers. Either one could lead the entire National Football League in every single category from that tight end position. But there is a tier. There's a tier break after those two. All right, Gump. Anything else?
Well, the reason why, and I think Saquon's going to be Saquon.
Okay, thanks.
I really do. I just think he's going to be Saquon again this year, and I think he's just going to do it.
Okay.
I just really have a feeling about that.
That's good logic, Gump.
I just think he's going to be Saquon all over again.
Yeah, but you said that. Gumpy 3 times is what we're going to call you.
But what I want to do, what I'm thinking, I want to grab. Don't be hanging up on me when I say this, because I'm going to put the squeeze on the league.
I can't make that promise, Gump.
I'm going to put the squeeze on the league. I'm going to put the squeeze on the league come Saturday at 2 p.m. What I want to do is I want to get Josh Allen and McBride or somebody like that, or Bowers. I'm going to grab the best quarterback and the best tight end right off the bat, and put the squeeze on the whole league right off the bat.
Call terminated.
So Gump just basically said he's going to draft Josh Allen in a 1 QB in round 1, and draft Trey McBride in round 2 when he's a 3rd rounder. And so he's going to punt his 1st rounder, then punt his 2nd rounder, and he's going to put the squeeze on the league. I mean, I hate to break it to you. The league's going to squeeze you.
Don't forget, he loses his first few weeks on purpose so he can get better waivers.
Hey, real quickly, guys, I'm on the clock in this league, this 10-man league and I'm going to get to these super chats next. This is the team that I drafted. I ended up grabbing Bo Nix and Igbuka. So I ended up getting Nix as my starter here. I grabbed Buka for one of my bench spots. And so now I'm on the clock again. And I got to decide, do I roll with, and I got Debo. Did I not have Debo? I have Debo as well. So Debo, this is a 10-man, believe it or not. I can't confirm that a couple of these guys aren't in a coma and they're just auto-drafting, to be honest, the way this is going. So I got Harvey. So Harvey, Debo, Buka, this is bench, and Nix is my starter. I'm on the clock right now. I don't know what to pick here because there's still so much talent left. Do I go like a running back, like one of the, the Blue or Bigsby type players, Tootin, etc.? Do I go with the Jordan Addison because he's still in my receivers? Receivers are a little, like I would say a high upside risk, but high upside. Do I go, and there's not a lot of receivers left after that. Do I go with a tight end because tight ends have been ripped off the board just like quarterbacks were? Grab Kyle Pitts now. He's like the 4th ranked tight end. And then potentially, even though I have Nix, I could stack that later. And that is a very, very quarterback. I just, in case anyone's watching, that will fall. So I think I can stack it pretty easily. So I got to decide if I'm going to go Kyle Pitts and then stack it later, or go with like Blue or one of the running backs. What do you guys think here? Or Addison. Tight ends aren't falling. They're getting ripped off the board. I don't know why. I can't explain half of what's going on here. Look at this team. How did I get this team? I don't know. Go Shakir.
So if you don't take Pitts and they keep getting ripped off the board, who would be there in the next round or two?
Ertz.
You end up having to settle for.
Likely Ferguson.
So like Warren, Warren's gone.
Yeah, Warren's gone. Kraft is there. Kraft had a great year last year, so you could take him. But
I mean,
kind of like, you know what? I kind of like the idea of Bijan, Penix, and
I do too.
Kyle Pitts.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'd be okay with Kraft and then someone else later maybe, but
I just don't know.
I have faith in Pitts. I know a lot of people don't.
Yeah,
I think Pitts is gonna be more than serviceable this year. I think he's in the top 10 tight end.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him because I don't want him to get ripped off the board. So my team is just filthy. This is absolute filth, and it is it's a 10-man. I understand, that it looks, I make fun of a lot of grandma leagues, but I don't make fun of it because I think you shouldn't play in it. I make fun of it because it's just ridiculous that you're going to build a team. You're almost not proud of yourself when you have a squad like this. You know what's funny is somebody told me in the league, they said, yeah, your team's it turned out pretty well, and if you make a trade, you're definitely going to make a trade and then have a dominating team. I'm like, make a trade? I don't need to make a trade. I was like, you really think my team isn't in a position to dominate everybody right now? Let me send this over to my screen and put it up on screen, and then we'll move on with the super chats. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Why can't I send this to my... Okay, here it is. Let me get rid of this now that I can actually put the full team up and it makes sense without writing things like that. This is a 10-team league. It's my longtime buddy league. This league, technically speaking, hasn't been going for 20 years because it's like 2 leagues combined, but about half of us have been playing in the same league, and it merged with this one, like the Brady Bunch, over 25 years ago. That's how long this league's been together, half of us, and then it merged. But look at the squad: Bo Nix, Bijan, Bucky, Garrett Wilson. Look at the the rounds that I got these guys in. So if any of you play in 10-man leagues, I'm hoping this is helpful to you. That Garrett Wilson can fall to the 5th round. Travis Hunter can fall to the 7th round. Kyron fell to 3.2. Trey Henderson fell to 4.9, and I reached for him because I didn't want to lose him. I got Harvey at 6.9. I got Debo at 8.9. I got Ibuka at 10.9. This is insane. This is probably one of the best 10-man leagues teams that I've ever assembled. And I just grabbed Kyle Pitts, and then I'll go ahead and stack them later. Love this team. Love this team. Do you know that I offered just to share some, could have been bad stories with people, because Smitty's not perfect. I'll tell you that right now. I offered every single person in this draft. No, I'd say maybe 7 of them out of the other 9 guys. I offered them when I had picked my Bo Nix pick at 9.2. I offered my 10th and 11th round picks for their 9, and then even when it flipped around, the first guy wanted his 10 pick, but I tried to get their later pick downstream, the 9th round picks, so like 9.8, 9.9, 9.10, because I wanted Ibuka so bad, and they all rejected my trade. I offered them the 10 and 11, and it didn't happen, and Ibuka fell to me anyway. So I was trying to potentially overreact to consume, and I would have missed Kyle Pitts here. I wouldn't have had as good of a team. So it's good sometimes that people don't accept a trade, and in hindsight, that I would never have known, but that was a bad offer because I ended up getting Ibuka anyway, and I wouldn't have Kyle Pitts now if I made that trade. I don't know. I can't believe Ibuka is not respected enough to go high enough that you're, like 10.9 Ibuka is ridiculous league winning.
Yeah,
right there.
I wonder if it's like, I don't know exactly who you play with, obviously. But I wonder if, like, it's in a home league where you might have 3 or 4 people that are like pretty casual fans and stuff. they look at a depth chart and just see like, oh, there's 3 guys ahead of them. Type of thing.
I think
they know the receivers from last year.
I think they're just not. Most people are. This is why you say like a lot of grandma leagues are magazine drafters, and when you're in a 10-man league that can't assemble 12, you're usually, if you're struggling to get 2 more, which we're not looking anymore. We like the way it is, but if you struggled to get 12, you were collecting some players you were kind of talking into playing anyway. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of 10-man leagues that are just sharks, and so. They're all look. It's competitive. Like they're good at fantasy football. I'm not saying that there aren't a handful of good players. And to be frank, I've had injuries and lost the last 2 years. In this group, I have won. Probably me and this other guy have won the most in this league over the last like 20 years. But the last 2 years, I have not won. I got hit with injuries so hardcore last year. The year prior, even more so. And so this is redemption season for me in this league because it's 2 years running that I've just been devastated and ravaged with injuries. But look at the depth now. Harvey on the bench, Debo on the bench, Igbuka on the bench. I might have a problem on my hands where I'm starting the wrong guys. And everybody thinks I totally messed up at receiver. Like, oh, you drafted way too many running backs. I mean, getting Garrett Wilson, Travis Hunter in a 2 required wide receiver league and then still have Debo and Igbuka, I'm fine with it. Very, very okay with it. All right, let me get these super chats out of the way real quickly. I was going over there for a reason. I forget why. I read something. Rock Out Day 22, 12,900 steps. Congratulations, Rock Out. You rock. And for anybody that wants to partake in what we're talking about, there's a challenge we're doing here on the channel. Very just open-ended. Do you want to try and better your life somehow? Walking, eating less sugar, doing 100 push-ups a day. Pick a challenge right now. Just right now. And if you can't do it now, do it tomorrow. And it'll be a Kruger, how many days until opening day of the NFL? Thursday night.
All right, Smitty, let me hit you with the countdown at triple speed. We are exactly 21 days out from that Thursday night NFL opener.
Okay, so 21 days. Everybody should be able to pick something. And if you don't do it tonight, start tomorrow, 20 days. If you forget to do it, and it's 15 days away, then it's a 15-day challenge. If it's 10 days away, it's a 10-day challenge. As Travis said last time, just get momentum, and then you'll probably continue on. Mine was to get down to 200 pounds from 221. I'm at 207. I'm struggling that last 7 pounds, but I got a lot of time. I got a little less than a month. So I'm on track. I'm running every day, sometimes running twice a day. I'm doing over 100 push-ups a day. I'm lifting. And I'm also drinking no Mexican soda or soda at all. I'm just drinking vitamin waters, which still have a lot of sugar, but it's way less consumption. So I'm crushing the not having as many calories. Anyway, this one here, or should I just do full PPR normal league with trades? Oh, that must be off of this one. $10 hauler. Yo, want to start a home league, best ball style, 10-man, full PPR, 10 rounds. Do I do trades and waivers or no trades and waivers? Best settings. I mean, best ball with trades, it's intriguing. I don't mind doing best ball. Personally, if it's a buddy league or a home league, you're probably better off doing a league that isn't best ball just because it keeps it really active. If you do best ball, no one's going to really probably trade. But maybe they will. I don't know. I haven't done a best ball league where you could trade in it. It's optimal lineups, but you could still trade in it. I feel like that's not gonna be an active trading league. I would say I would rather promote that you do a league with waivers and not be best ball format. But do you, and if you like best ball, if everybody else likes best ball and you still think they'll be active, go ahead and do it. This is not something that it's preference, man. There's no real way to tell you. Full PPR normal league with trades. That would be my suggestion. And waivers, and just make it a fun normal league. It might be something you regret making it best ball later because you're like, I do have time for this one or whatever. And then just join Underdog, and we draft at midnight, so we'll be drafting tonight. Just join Underdog to get your best ball fix if you're allowed to do that in your state. Here's the link if anybody wants to draft. Make sure you click that link now. Minimum is only $10, and we'll be drafting tonight. If you don't do it now, you're not going to get in because it feels quick. Nico for DJ Moore and McLaurin and Dynasty? Absolutely not. McLaurin's 30 years old. DJ Moore is no spring chicken, and Nico is worth a top 14 overall pick, you're getting completely blasted if you trade Nico for that. Just one of the worst trades we would see probably all year. So do not do that. Thank you for the super chat. Redraft 10-man Harvey, Drake London, Kincaid, or Hampton, and Nico. So Harvey, Drake London, Kincaid, or Hampton and Nico. Ingram is my starting tight end. Harvey, Drake London, and Kincaid, Hampton and Nico. Jeez. Hampton and Nico. Let's take London and Nico out, because I think you could really argue they're dead even. I like London a little more, but I can't blame anybody to go either. So Hampton versus Harvey. I mean, I don't really even look at Kincaid. I could care less about that. So it really is like, while Hampton's got more value, if I'm in a vacuum, I still think Harvey could outscore Hampton. I think Harvey's in a better situation. I love Hampton. I love Hampton's situation. I'm not saying I don't, but I love Harvey's situation more. Harvey's going to catch 70 footballs. Harvey's going to be the Joker for Sean Payton in the Denver Bronco amazing ever-flowing offense, where I do think Hampton looks good. I do think Hampton can win leagues, but I think Harvey can win leagues too. I feel like you can get more if you were acquiring the Drake London Harvey side. So this is tough to say no to, because you're almost saying the more heavy side is the one you'd be getting, but I don't really want you to go get it and then trade it. So it's kind of hard to give any advice along those lines. If you had Hampton and Nico, my advice would be, can you squeeze something out a little more because of the perceived value? But at the end of the day, push comes to shove. On the flip side, I don't know that I'm going through it, because I love Harvey that much. I would venture to say 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 people would disagree with me too. I think people love Hampton that much, and the fear of Harvey's situation is so great that you're going to get 7, 8 people. If you did this trade, people in your league would say you got ripped off. But I don't feel that way. And I love London. So hard to say, bro. It really is. The safe move probably is the Hampton side. But give me the London Harvey, and I'm not trading it. Very, very, very good question, though. And trust your gut.
London's really safe, too. I mean, Nico, he's got a little bit of injury concern. I'm not saying he's definitely get injured or anything. No, he's got a huge ceiling, but so does London.
Yeah. This super chat here from Poppy. Dynasty Harvey plus a 26 first for my Bucky and a 26 second. I would want to keep Bucky. As much as I love Harvey, there's no way a first rounder is making me part ways with Bucky Irving. You know, even if you threw 2 first rounders at me, I'm definitely like really weighing it out. I'm probably going to say, chat, what do you think? Like, is that close? Where I do lean on that chat. You know, some people say, like, Smitty, they ask you in a super chat and you ask the audience. Like, that's a great thing to do for somebody that super chatted. That asking the audience on who wants to be a millionaire was the go-to. Asking an intelligent audience like this one, additionally with my take, is a pretty damn good thing to offer somebody. You know, so anybody that complains about that, I just laugh. I don't understand why. They paid you for the advice and you just asked the audience. Watch me do it again right here. Chat, what would you do in this situation? Dynasty, Harvey in a 26 first for Bucky in a second. I'm going to venture to say the chat says hell to the no. Keep Bucky. Don't let him go. But I guess if my follow-up would be, what would it take? Would 2 first rounders do it? I'm not saying he would do that, but would that get anybody to hit the button? I just think it's hard for me to worry about future picks, because then it feels like you're playing for second place in some respects. Like, if you're ready to win now, maybe your team isn't, and you can let me know on that. But if I had a chance at winning now, but you said, hey, let me maybe downgrade you a little bit, get you some future. It's like, what are you doing? You getting second place for 5-6 straight years? Great. Why not get first place? Maybe forego some future value, but maybe you find that value elsewhere. So for me, I'm just not wanting to trade Bucky. And I don't even know if they offer me 2 first-rounders if I'm even doing it because of how much I love Bucky. Bucky's my running back 3 or 4 this year. And he's just getting going. So I'm not trading Bucky at all. Instead, I'll tell you to take a Bucky bath.
Get buckied. Buckied.
Bucky. Oh, Bucky.
Imagine how sad you'd be every time I hit the Bucky button if you traded him away. Now, you might be sad if Harvey's blowing up and we're hitting this button.
H and Associates.
To be
Triple
fair.
H and Associates. Locations on.
So maybe the answer is go get Harvey without giving up Bucky. Maybe you give up the first rounders. Give up 2 of them for Harvey. And this team, I got it. I know it's a 10-man. I know we always make fun of 10-man leagues, but this team is crazy. I just don't see how I'm going to lose with this team. Bijan, Bucky, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, Kyle Pitts, Kyron, Hendy. I mean, these 2 running backs on the bench right here with Harvey in the wings. I don't know how this team's going to lose. I think these weapons right here, this is insane. Maybe I need to message the league in the chat and just be like, guys, if everybody pays half now, we can start over. I'll just require half from everybody up front now, and I'll let you all, we can reset. Everybody drop everybody, we restart. Otherwise, you're playing for nothing. I mean, that's just insane. Any final thoughts? We'll be back tonight to draft. Anything else?
Yeah, just a couple quick things. That guy that was looking for the bids from last year, I guess he got cut off on the phone. I don't know if he had to go or what.
Okay.
The guy Eric, he was just asking if you could just rank in order which guys you'd pick up off of waivers out of Milton, Horton, Thornton, and Jalen Lane. I believe it was a super flex, he said. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to even rank.
Rather than...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even rank.
Rather than, since he can't find the bids from last year, like you said, you need like elite contacts to know how much to bid. So if you just rank what order you pick them up in.
I'm not going to rank Lane here. I mean, obviously, if you could get another guy, I don't mind adding Lane if you got an open spot. But just... He's got upside and appeal. I like him a lot. We'll just put him on here. It's fine. Okay, Lane is last. Probably going to say Horton, then Milton, then Thornton, and then Lane. But I will add that if you were really bad off at QB, and also caveat that like Milton could be like in hindsight, easily the top guy here, easily. If he gets into the lineup. But because there's still that what if, Horton's somebody I don't want to leave out there. If, let's say, Dak got injured today, then Milton would be, but that's part of, like, you're trying to predict this thing. I want both of them, and it sounds like he can make bids for both. If somebody aggressively drops, like, 101 or something like that, or 100, or then just drop a little bit more than that, like 102 or whatever, and leave it at that. Leave it at chance that you can get both these guys. About 7 times out of 10, you overdo it and nobody puts a bid in, and you're like shocked and you're like, that sucks. I've done it before so many times, but it also pisses you off when you don't do enough. But typically you do overdo it when you're thinking everybody, especially if the league is kind of, iffy on even making big bids anyway. I've one league in my past. I don't play it anymore, but you drop $100 out of 100 every time. Everybody gets $100 to start the year, and everybody spends it by week 2 in one shot, $100. And I probably triggered that myself by doing that once, and then everybody knew they had to do that, and then it's like everyone's pressured to do it. It sounds like your league, based on what you said, was more conservative. So I think, you might spend 101 on both of them and way overspend. You'll see like a $40 bid. You did say somebody did drop a full load drop once, but it didn't sound like that was a regular thing, and nothing news-wise should make these guys go to that level. But they're definitely going to be bids, I think, for them, because the news is since your waivers has been sitting there without anybody getting added since your draft, Milton has gone up a little bit in value, and so has Horton. Put in a contingent add drop. I mean, you could add all three of these guys if you had spots for it, but if you only had like one drop, just put a contingent in for Horton and then Thornton below him with the same drop, and that way it only goes through once, and you just get one of them. But I don't mind grabbing all three of these guys. They're really good waiver players. These are guys that will be on the week 1, the week 2 waiver wire video when we talk about that after week 1. We get out of week 1, we'll be talking about Milton, Horton, and Thornton. Absolutely, 100%, and Lane, but Lane's 4th for me.
All right, just 2 quick trade questions that people had. If you have a minute, Bronco in the chat. It's a 12-team redraft. He wants to know if you should trade Hampton or Rice. He could use receiver more than running back right now. He has Gibbs, Genty, and Harvey.
Redraft, Dynasty, I could answer both.
It's redraft.
I mean,
he already has Gibbs, Genty, and Harvey.
I mean, Hampton's you need to probably get more, because Rice, even though Rice's value went up in our eyes, not in everybody's eyes, and not enough, there's still so much ambiguity about when the suspension will have, or if it happens, or how long it'll be. I still think we're in the 0 to 3 games. But the values, I mean, Hampton goes in 3, Rice is going in 4. Feels like you should still get a little bit more. But if push came to shove, I'm fine with it. I think Rice can win leagues, and he's going to be a top 5, 6 receiver for the first 4 weeks of the season and give you a taste of what it's all going to look like. So I'm okay with it. I would
right now, Neighbors, DK, and Debo are his top receivers right now.
That's good. That's not lacking.
No.
Yeah.
But you can hold out for more. Then just real quick, the last one, Anonymous has been asking. Would you trade? It's a dynasty, I believe. Chase Brown and McBride, or Gibbs, Monty, and Pitts.
Chase Brown, McBride, NDK. I'm glad you found the show. First time watching it live. Got HHH and Associates on retainer. Nice job. McBride and sorry.
I'm sorry. It's redraft. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Chase, not dynasty.
Chase Brown and McBride for what?
Chase Brown and McBride. Gibbs, Monty, and Pitts.
Gibbs, Monty, and Pitts. Woo! So we're talking about like number 2 overall here. We're talking about, good Lord, Pitts is. I just got him in the 11th round. Not saying this is good, science right here, but 11th rounder here. Chase Brown is his 2nd rounder. McBride is his 2nd rounder. Or 1.2, I meant here. So 1.2 and 11th rounder for 2 2nd rounders. And McBride's a 2-3, but I mean, there's a big gap between McBride and Pitts. But is the Chase Brown, from Gibbs to Chase Brown gap, proportionately, because you're talking about the number 1 or 2 overall player potentially in Gibbs, so it's it's not the same measurement. But I mean, this is quite a return to get Chase Brown and McBride, or quite a retention if you're keeping them. I'd probably say this. Damn, this is tough. Chat, what do you think? This is so tough. I think Pitts is going to have a bit bigger year than people think. and Travis just said that too. I think that he's not 11th round material, but
yeah. Well, that's 11th round and 10 team, right?
What?
11th round and 10 teamer.
Yeah.
You said?
Yeah, but I think he could go.
We're only talking.
He could go that high to 12 too, though. Guys, what side do you like better? Brown and McBride safer, but safer men lose in the playoffs. Says Surf. I don't know, bro.
I kind of want Gibbs. It's risky with Pitts. So I think you have to really believe in Pitts to take the Gibbs side.
I think Pitts is going to ball. I'm not saying he's McBride good this year. I just think he's top 5 to 6 good. And if you get that out of this side wins the trade. So Travis is right if you believe in him. I believe in him. I think McBride's in an unbelievable spot. I love Chase Brown. I do. But if this is me, and we keep forgetting this, Monty is a decent flex play. You could even trade Monty if you wanted. I'm not even like married to the idea that they have to stay together and that, I'm sleeping like a baby at night because I've cuffed it. You know, if Gibbs went down, I mean, Monty might do very well. But what if you could upgrade wide receiver or something using Monty? I'm going to say get the Gibbs side. Final answer. It's risky, but it is fun. And you're here to have fun. And I love McBride and Chase Brown, but I'm taking Gibbs and Pitts. I believe in Pitts. Very close call. Very close call. And the chat's kind of torn too. Casey likes Gibbs and Pitts. We've got Brown and McBride from Sam. It is a close call. It's really, really close. All right, Travis, anything else?
Just quick, Blue Romeo. He's asking about in redraft. Someone offered him. Someone offered him CMC for his Harvey, Dobbins, and Loveland. I like the Harvey side, but do you consider CMC in that situation?
CMC for
Harvey, Dobbins, and Loveland.
Harvey, Dobbs,
Dobbins.
Yeah. Loveland. Oh, you can't even see that. Harvey, JK, and Loveland. I mean, honestly, here's the part that makes this hard. Is the value for CMC right now is at 1.5, 1.7. While I want Harvey, while I want Harvey. Oh, this is redraft.
It's redraft.
Okay. While I want Harvey more quietly, you have to get way more than this. This guy's going at 1.5 to 1.7. So quietly, I want
be getting CMC.
Okay. And this is that scenario where it's like on the flip side, though, it's really hard to trade for the player you don't want that holds more value. So it's kind of a complicated situation. Mute stuff real quickly, my man, and I'll be right with you. But you got a real short amount of time. The phone lines are closed. I answered for you. Just hang tight real quickly. I probably would say I get CMC because I'm a gambling man, and then I flip him. And I try and get a Hendy and a Hunter. But I'm only doing it because I'm a gambling man, and this guy's got 1.5 to 1.7 ADP. Now, the only risk you run is that you're taking a player you don't believe in and you don't like, and then what if he's got great draft value, but what if nobody wants to trade for him? I don't really know. I would say at the end of the day, if your league's very, very open to trades, I probably would take the CMC side, then flip it for more. Even though I love Harvey and I actually quietly like Harvey more. It's just the value. It's kind of like if someone said, I'll give you, what's a vehicle? Let's see here. Let's say, I don't know, like a Lamborghini, for example. Let's say you could have a fully loaded, brand new 4Runner, raised, TRD wheel, like everything. It's a $70,000-$80,000 4Runner, maybe $100,000, rare, 4Runner with everything you can think of, every single thing, tent, everything you want. It's a $100,000 4Runner, and someone offers you a $200,000 Corvette or whatever, and you love this 4Runner. You have to take it because you can buy, or let's say it's a $500,000 Lamborghini. You have to take it because you can buy 2 or 3 of the 4Runners. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you like better at some point in a negotiation like this. So you kind of have to take CMC and roll with it. Our phone lines are closed, guys. I've a bunch of you trying to call in. I gotta get out of here in a second. Actually, I'll take 2 more calls. Dial back. I'm sorry. $4.99 from James. James, appreciate you on that. And then this super chat here from Daniel. I'm out on Rice. You don't know when the suspension will come. Could be week 6 through 12, 8 through 14. ADP too high. Fire that risk. Could destroy your season. Daniel, I 100% disagree with you, but I appreciate you. Let me mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right with you. And scared money don't make money, Daniel. You've been here for a while for the scared money don't make money. That sounds like a worrisome William take. Look, you don't have to do it in every league, but this is not trending in a direction where he's missing 8 games. I'll tell you that right now. And again, to the letter of the league policy, he should get less than Addison, but people don't want to tell you that. People want to act like what Rice did was worse, but to the letter of the law, it's not. What do you think about Ray McLeod and Tyler Lockett? I don't think much about either one, to be honest. Look, there's got to be better wide receivers available to you. Horton's out there. I'm taking Horton over those guys. No interest whatsoever in either one of those guys on any of my rosters at all. We've got this last super chat here from Zach. Are you okay with keeping Knicks at 11.12, Bucky at 12.1, trade 13.12 for Tracy? I don't know what this is saying here. Keeping Knicks at 11.12, Bucky at 12.1, trade 13.12 for.
Oh, I know. I was talking to him about this before. So he's keeping Knicks and Bucky at the 11 and 12. Then he would have to trade the 13.12 for Tracy, and after he acquires him, he would keep him in the 14. He's worried about losing 2 picks. I think his other option is to keep Juwan Jennings in like the 16th round and not make a trade between Jennings and Tracy for him.
I don't know. I guess. I mean, I don't care about a 13th rounder. Tracy's decent value there. Yeah. But, I mean, it's not like I can't find a player I like better in the 13th round. I could. But I don't mind it. Not going to lose you anything. So, yeah, 13th round. I don't know.
Yeah. It's that or Jennings in the 17th.
Well,
for me, I take the guy who might be a starting running back.
Yeah, in the 13th round, you could get Jaden Blue. You could get maybe a Trey Benson. You could maybe get a Braylon Allen. You could maybe get a Horton. You could get Isaac Garendo. You could get maybe a Thornton. Like I said, Horton, Woody Marks, your Corey Krosky-Merritt. All those guys seem to be available, all of them, at the 13th round. So could I see myself wanting to draft your Corey Krosky-Merritt when your pick was on the clock and saying, damn, I wish I could just not do that? I could. So I don't know.
So that's a good point because he loses 2 picks with that.
Yeah.
If he gets Tracy, he's losing 13th and 14th.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I'd rather just draft your Corey Krosky-Merritt. That's me. I like Tracy, but he plays on a bad team. He's fumbled the ball away and fumbled the job away before, so it's not like he's a lock. I think he's pretty good, though. He's a pretty efficient guy. but he lost the job because he couldn't hang on to the ball, and it kind of just became like a disastrous situation. I do like him. He's somebody we should target, but at the end of the day, do I want some of those other guys more? I do. And what's up, Smitty? Hope you're doing well. Returning champ here. I just want to make one statement. Taking London at 3 first round in a big money league. At 3 first round. Taking London at 3. Oh, in the first round. Third overall in the first round in a big money league. I'm not going to say it doesn't pay off, but you're certainly buying with no ceiling value left whatsoever. But if you land it, I mean, it's not like you can't win with that approach, but good Lord, taking him at 3, that's the highest I think anybody will have ever taken him. And I mean, you can't trade in maybe one of these big money leagues, and if you could, you'd want to trade down. But I don't advise anybody taking London at 3. I'm not taking him over Bijan, Gibbs, Lamb, or Jamar Chase. So you want to take him at 5 or 6, I'm kind of okay with that, but I'm not passing on those other big boys. But I love London, and he could be the 2nd or 3rd wide receiver this year. I've said that. So I'm not sending you on a lap. I just can't condone that boldness. I appreciate it. I respect it. I definitely respect it. It's not one of those things where I'm sending him on a lap. I really respect it, but I can't condone that. That's the kind of stuff that if I said that one time, we'd have people drafting him at 1 overall, and then nobody would have any value, and London's we'd tank his ADP. Let me go over to these 2 callers real quickly. 608, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Smitty, this is Garrett from Wisconsin.
What's up, Garrett? What can I do for you?
Hey, man, I just want to say, first of all, big fan of the show. We love your fantasy content.
Thank you.
Best fantasy football content creator on the app.
Thank you.
I do have one gripe, and the only thing is that I do believe that where Matthew Golden's ADP is at right now, I think he's a little bit of a steal.
He could be.
Especially with how the Packers kind of used him on that first drive against the Jets, using him on like a bubble screen, like really. I mean, Sauce Gardner had that DPI on him, I just think that where his ADP is, and I'm not saying like reach on him, but I do think he has a lot of value there, and I think he's going to be very sneaky.
I don't mind Matthew Golden at the right price, but the problem is him and Ted McMillan have been climbing up into like sometimes ridiculous value. So it depends where you can get him. If Ted McMillan's going around 6 or 7, I love it. I think Ted McMillan at 7 could really win you a league. But when Ted climbs to the 3-4 turn on Underdog, I have to step in and say that's nonsense. Because I'm not even drafting Igbuka at the 3-4 turn. And Igbuka, I value way more than people value Ted. I'm not saying you can't have Ted over Igbuka. Do your own thing. But me, I value Igbuka more than Ted. Overvaluating Ted owners value Ted. So if I won't take Igbuka in even the 4th round, what in the hell is he doing? But Golden's going around round 7. So the only thing I would say to you is that's not crazy, but Mahomes is there. Igbuka's there, and I'm drafting Igbuka over Matthew Golden every single time. And he's every single time apparently available right now over Igbuka. That could change with ADP, but I'm looking at it right here. Sam
But
Laporta,
you're taking Golden over Cup and Diggs, like on ESPN ADP.
Yeah.
Over,
ESPN's different, bro. ESPN, nobody knows who Igbuka is. I just got Igbuka in this team. I got Igbuka at 10.9, and he probably would have fallen to
we're smashing that all day.
Yeah, I mean, so ESPN.
You're taking Javonte Williams over Jonathan Taylor?
Am I taking Javonte Williams over Jonathan Taylor? Why would I take
the guy you said was Jonathan Taylor, right?
Why would I take Javonte Williams over Jonathan Taylor? I would never say that.
That's one of your videos. Why didn't you have Javonte Williams over Jonathan Taylor before?
Are you talking about when he was like a rookie? Before he tore his ACL?
Yeah. So Garrett listens to you all the time, and he treats you like you're the greatest ever. So I have to find some videos in the past to try to go at him. So that was one of them.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Here, I got a video for you.
Finish him.
You know, we could go back in time and look at injuries and players all we want, but nobody cares about your remember when story, pal. I'm here trying to help you, and you want to go into Javonte Williams' rookie year before his ACL. All right, let me go over to Justin. Justin, you're live.
Hey, real quick, I know you probably covered it at some point because you've covered everyone. How do
Yeah.
you feel about Elijah Arroyo from the Seahawks?
Justin, where have you been, by the way? We talked about you the
I
other
was just
day.
gonna ask that. Yeah.
We're like this.
I've
Where's
been working 2 jobs. It's a lot of like life stuff.
okay? Well, I'm like, where's Justin? I haven't been challenged to do a 1v1 draft in a while, and we're looking for you for weeks.
I think they took him off, dude. I think they took him off. Like they
might have.
They
Yeah.
caught me like
They caught
yeah,
you.
because like I kept on like taking advantage of people at like 3 a.m. and stuff.
Justin thinks he shut down the 1v1 draft.
I think I did, dude. I think
Come
I
on,
did.
man. Come on, man.
Single-handedly.
We got a call. This guy's drafting too good of teams. We got to shut it down, bro. You think they care that you think they care that you're winning those? That doesn't. The Underdog doesn't care if you're the most winning 1v1 person around. It doesn't bother them that they're paying you out or they're paying somebody else out. It doesn't matter to them. They can care less.
I was joking when I was saying specifically me, but I think at scale, like I think they find it a problem that people just keep on getting $100 ripped from them.
Okay, they still don't care.
Especially me.
They still don't care.
Especially.
I don't mean that in a negative way to Underdog. I just mean they have, let's say in a 1v1, there's 2 spots, so it's a 2-team draft. Their objective, it's not their business to be like, oh, every time that these open up, Justin will join them when they've been sitting. This is what Justin's saying. Justin would go into the 1v1s and they would be sitting there for a little while. And he would jump in after one's been sitting there for a while because he thinks the person's taken a leak or they set their phone down and they forget. And then they go on auto and then Justin's going at the auto pick. And so Justin's saying that he thinks that they caught on to that. They don't care because at the end of the day, if this spot gets filled and this spot gets filled, they have no business saying what someone should be doing if they're auto picking or if they're. Some people they join a draft and auto pick anyway. So I don't think you had anything to do with shutting it down. But go ahead. What you were asking about Royals?
No, Arroyo.
Oh, Arroyo.
His name is Elijah Arroyo, right? From Seahawks. Like, how do you feel about him?
Love him. I mean, let me show you this. It doesn't sound like you've been here for a while.
The Moon Man.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Arroyo's going to stay on here, but that doesn't mean I love him. It just means that
Space Monsters.
he could just, in fact, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to move him over to the midseason monster board just because I think there could be a little bit of a delay. It sounds like he's not quite ready for prime time, but that doesn't mean he won't be. So I'm going to put him on the midseason monster list, which I love because it opens up another movement spot. So I'll put him over here. This is getting awfully crowded. I will admit. We got a really crowded midseason monster list, almost taking away the allure. But I'd rather protect the Moon Man integrity here. And so now we have an open spot or 2 on the Moon Man list, which excites me greatly. So I'll dig into what player I'm going to throw on here. Honestly, do we have Mahomes anywhere? I don't think we... Yeah, we do.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
The Saturn Men.
Yeah.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
We put him on January 14. He's one of the first people on the board. Okay, I for some reason I spaced on that. Thank God. I thought for a minute I've been going this whole offseason without Mahomes on there. We added him in January.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
To Saturn.
The Saturn Men.
You have Mims on one small step.
I could put Mims on there. I do think Mims might deserve it. I might put Mims on there. That's a great point. If I'm looking around at the movement, hold on one second, Justin, don't leave. Candidates for the Moon Man list. Bigsby's kind of a candidate, I suppose, but there's a little ambiguity there. Tootin, but those guys are on the midseason monster list, so I can leave them there, and that feels fine. Blue's on the midseason monster. Oh, no, Blue's on the Moonman list. Krosky Merritt is somebody I would, consider. We've got, who else do we got? Running backs, I'm not feeling like we need to add any other RBs. Yeah, I think we're good. Let me go over to wide receiver real quickly. Yeah, Penix Jr. Do I have Penix Jr. on the
Moon Man?
Yeah.
Dropping loads and
Sometimes I forget what. London, we've got.
Selfishly, I was thinking like Drake May or Pop Douglas, but then I'm like, Mims deserves it over Pop Douglas.
Mars Men. The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Yeah, I'm not going to put Pop on there, but I like Spaceman. Yeah. Who else was I thinking?
Spaceman.
St. Brown looks really good right now. I wouldn't be surprised if St. Brown landed on like the Mars Man list, last second here, because it's all about value. All these guys have value. You don't just make the list because you're a big name. Like, that's how easy is it to go. The Mars Men are going to be Bijan, Lamb, Chase, Jamar Chase, but these guys are all value. Like, London is getting drafted in the second round. Rice is going, he's been all offseason. Rice has been going all over the place, but total value. Kyron Steele, Hall Steele, HN in the second round, just criminal. Bo Nix is a league winner. Mahomes is so just so you guys don't say, oh, these are all big names. Every single player here is getting disrespected on some level, except for maybe BTJ. But he still could be, since he was wide receiver 4 and you can get him at the 12, 13, 14, is still pretty damn good value. And you go over to the Jupiter board.
The Jupiter Men.
And this one right here, I mean, Gibbs goes at 4 sometimes. That he could go 1. So there's still a good value there. JD5, obviously a good value. Neighbors, there's a potential in the next week or so. I move Neighbors to a new list called the Andromeda Galaxy list, which will be a dynasty board that will have a select like 6 to 8 players that are the dynasty best players to trade for values. Even though Neighbors is a huge name, he's still going to be worth any trade you make. So if I do put him there and we consider the toe and everything, that will open up a Jupiter spot. Genty is a steal right now because people are scared. Scotty's going at 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Hunter is one of the steals of the draft. Hendy is probably the biggest steal in fantasy right now. Bucky going in round 2 is criminal. Harvey going in 5, 6, 7 is criminal. CeeDee Lamb also. Him and BTJ are the only players on these boards that you could say, is it really that big of a deal in steal? No, but they're so safe, I want to put them on the board. So that's kind of the design on there, if anybody's wondering. Because I get a lot of people go, oh, Smitty just throws all the big names on there. No, those are all values. All of those are values. I'm not putting players on the board that don't have values or home run capability. Arroyo, did I put Arroyo? Arroyo. I like Arroyo a lot. I just think we're in maybe patient mode with him, okay? He's got Antonio Gates like feel to him, but also could have Kincaid returns. Like we gotta be a little careful, Justin, that we're not getting ahead of our skis on it, but Arroyo has a mixed bag feel right now where he could be a monster or maybe he won't be. We'll see.
Yeah, I got one more question. Did I take it too far with Jalen Hurts? Because I have him as like a top 2 drafted guy in both pre-draft and post-draft.
No, in redraft, with the touch push still in play, I'm not a hater on Jalen Hurts. A lot of my negative Jalen Hurts takes, and it's not even hate, it's just reality. I think in Dynasty, he's going to be a disappointment over the long term. If you don't get rid of him now for an amazing swap of like Knicks and Breece Hall, like I've done, you might be really upset at yourself later by not making that swap out. But yeah, you're not crazy at all for drafting him in redraft.
No, but I'm saying pre-draft, like the Underdog, like in the exposure thing, the pre-draft and the post-draft, like I have him as like a top 2 quarterback in both those. That's fine.
It's in best ball especially, but in Dynasty,
yeah, I kept on drafting him every time he slid past 50, dude.
Well, wait till you see this exposure, and and anybody that tells me that you shouldn't be exposed, no pause needed, to these players of these values on Underdog, that's their opinion. I could care less what they think. If I land a majority of these guys, and most of the guys you have the before I put it on screen, most of the guys you have the overexposure to, and again, no pause needed. They are players that you're getting kind of later. Very rarely will you have one of the top, a guy that goes in the top 2 rounds, have them in your top 10 exposure percentage, because your ADP won't allow you to get them at every draft selection. I would say Bucky was one player, because he goes at the end of 2, but we'll take him at 2.1. He can pop up in that top 10, top 8, top 5 of your highest exposure of players on Underdog. But it is something that you'll find that when I'm overexposed on a ton of Mahomes at the 70% clip, it's not that risky because he's going in the 80s. So understand that there's a lot to that. 71% Patrick Mahomes exposure. RJ Harvey 58%. Look at that. 58%. That is hard to do. That is hard to do, ladies and gentlemen. Travis Hunter, 54%. That is hard to do. Charbonnet, some of these are surprising. I haven't looked at this in a minute. Pat Bryant, I would not expect Pat Bryant to be that high, but the reason I'm taking Pat Bryant is because I'm taking Marvin Mims at an insane rate right now, like every time I'm drafting. And now I've already been drafting a little Pat Bryant, and I kind of expected Pat Bryant to be that Mike Thomas potentially. And ever since Mims has taken over, I've just continued to draft Pat Bryant to cuff him to Mims. So that's why I have such a high percentage there. But he's practically free. Don't worry about that. Kyron Williams, 48%. And this is on the best. This is on the Best Ball Mania thing right here. This is on the Best Ball Mania. Wait, where's the screen? Sorry, there. This is on the Best Ball Mania exposure area, because there's like the pre-NFL draft one, then there's the Superflex, then there's the weekly winners. So this encompasses all of Best Ball Mania, the Husky, the Pug, the Badge Bros Brawl. Why would that be in there? Oh, that might have been. That's not that's not the one that was, I think, 6-man. The Dotson, the Poodle, the Poodle 3, the Puppy 2, all the puppies, the Chihuahuas, the Schnauzers, all of those are included in this ADP right here. Thornton, I got 47%. Debo, 46%. Bucky Irving, 45%. You gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. We need to do better than that. We need to do much better than that. Kelsey, I draft a lot of Mahomes, so Kelsey's cuffed to him naturally. I'm a little ashamed of myself. Where's Rashee Rice? Let me see where he's at. I mean, he's still going to be higher than almost anybody's exposure percentage, but I just need to figure out what he's at real quickly. Rice, I'm scrolling down a little bit, and the Rice is at 21%. I got to pump those numbers. I don't know if this includes the pending drafts, and I have Rice in so many of the drafts since he's fallen, since the suspension threat became known. Like, hey, he's going to be suspended now, everyone's saying, before the new news today dropped. And I think that hasn't counted yet. So once that gets added to it, I bet you he jumps to the 40s for me. Penix Jr., about 20 to 30%, but rising. Pink Bigsby, 22 to 25% rising. Evan Ingram's rising in the 30s. Royals. Ibuka, you see right here, 35%. Joe Burrow, 34%. Taking a lot of Joe Burrow lately. I'm stacking Burrow and Mahomes a lot right now. So anyway, that's the exposure there for you guys, for your viewing pleasure. And so some people are going to be like, don't listen to this guy. You can't have more than 13% of a single player to exposure. You do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Do you. What if you land the majority of your takes? Everybody has a big year. Some people have a bad year. Imagine having the opportunities that you would have by having that many drafts and that many hands in the pot that are actually, predicting the right things, you're going to have so many variants of a winning team that you're going to be up there. You know what I mean? If you got one shot and you do something one way, and that's the only team that does it because you picked a different squad every time, wouldn't you rather say, okay, I might lose a lot of these, and you can do it based on contest too. Puppy 2, oversaturate on something. Puppy 1, oversaturate on something different. Puppy 3, do something different. And you can get that saturation in waves and still get variation. And you're just going to maybe have a chance to win a different tournament and not have like a bunch of different variants. You'll have one oversaturation of an approach. All right. Anything else, Justin? And I got to go.
No, I appreciate the transparency and like you kind of showing your breakdowns and everything, man. Have a good night.
All right, later. Call back more. We'll see you. Let me go to this 262. What's your name and where are you calling from, 262?
It's Eric, Dave, or Steve, whichever one you like to call me.
Eric, yeah, Eric, Dave, Steve. Eric, what can I do for you, Eric?
Put this in order. Chase Brown. I'm going to name some of your favorite players here. Kyron Williams or Bucky Irving.
Well,
because
Bucky,
those go around like the 2-3 turn, or sometimes they go early second. But who do you like in that? Out of those three, in order?
Bucky by far, and then after that, it's a complete
By
tie.
far.
Yeah, and then after that, it's a complete tie between Brown and Kyron, and I just switch that up and make sure I have a bunch of shares of both. But Bucky to me has a chance to be the number 2 running back this year. I think Brown and Kyron are both 5 to 7. Maybe even 4 to 8. Like give it a little bit of overlap there. 4 to 8 potential for sure. But Bucky could be the number 1 running back for a string of games. We could be sitting here in week 5. Maybe he finishes 2 or 3 on the year, but we're in week 5 and he's running back 1. Like Bucky's got that ability. Chase Brown, definitely top 5.
You need to do a Bucky video then too, huh? You need a Bucky video.
I need to do a Bucky video. What's that mean? What's that mean?
Because you did the Chase Brown video where it goes Chase Brown with the baseball bat.
What do you think this?
Get buckied.
Here we go.
Buckied.
What on earth makes you think I'd have a Bucky video? Have you watched the show before?
I haven't seen a Bucky video in
we play this
over a
every
week, probably.
We play this practically.
Bucky bat.
Get buckied.
Okay, and then my second question is, you know how I like to jump in drafts with you. Are you doing one tonight or no?
Buckied. Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
I'm insulted. Yes, we're drafting tonight on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Hit the link in the live chat right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is pinned. I'll drop it fresh right now. If you want to draft tonight, you have to make sure you're signed up now. You won't get in if you're trying to scramble at the last second. That link has been dropped. They'll match your first deposit 50%. It's only a $10 minimum, though. So they'll give you $5 if you do 10. All right, last question, bro. Then I got to go.
Oh, nothing. Just thanks for your content. I'm starting to watch you every night, and I appreciate the breaking news earlier today because I didn't catch that earlier, and I appreciate you.
We'll see you later.
I gotta look forward to drafting with you later.
Yeah. Got to go because I got 310. Last thing, and I got to roll because we're not going to be breaching like an hour and 10 minutes before I got to come back.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for taking the call, brother. Wonderful time of the year. It's a wonderful time of the year. I want to know what your advice is on this trade I'm thinking of doing. I got Harvey. I'm thinking of trading him for Isaiah Bond, Dante Thornton, and Isaiah Pacheco. What do you think?
Finish him. Call terminate.
I don't have time for that nonsense. I don't have any time. You're wasting my marker. You're wasting our time, and you're probably banned from the phone line now. Asking such a ridiculous question. Is that the same guy the other night? Is that Chad or whatever? Come on, bro. Do better. Do better. All right, Travis, I'll see you tonight. I'll see you tonight.
End the show. Yeah.
All right, later.
Later, Smitty.
Unbelievable. Wasting my time like that. My time's valuable, my boy. It's not nonsense like that. And if that was real, If that was real, I send him this.
You are offered sex. You are paid offered sex.
Last question here from 7084 says, Smitty, as you know, longtime fan must ask, how can a Jupiter man be top 5 round 1.1 to 1.05 pick? By definition, they can't return Jupiter value. Yes, they can. It's all about value, and the higher you are,
the Jupiter men. Jupiter is so low.
The higher you are, the more it's hard to judge that. Like you say, okay, could Gibbs from, let's say, 5 overall win a league if he's number 1? Yeah, he can. Can Lamb, if he's the 4th or 5th pick and he's the number 1 player overall, the number 1, you can win a league. It's just because you're going from 5 to 1. It's the same thing as somebody going from 5 to round 3 or 4 to the top of round 2. It's just, you're talking about it's being up higher, tighter, and essentially, you know, you go from 12 to 1. That is, you're climbing 12 rounds. You're climbing an entire round. You know, it's more than doubling. You're just quintupling your value when you're moving, you know, big spots like that. So totally disagree with you, but appreciate you anyway. And those are league winners. And sometimes, bro, a league winner from the Jupiter level, let's say,
the Jupiter men.
Sometimes this is more about you're locking it in, bro. You're getting the league winner. Some people are taking Barkley and Christian McCaffrey here, and they're losing their leagues. And sometimes there's security in a monster. So if you're drafting Gibbs at 4, the security and guarantee that he or Bijan brings you wins the league. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Thank you for the super chat, though, my broski. I just 100,000% disagree with you because I created these boards. You think I didn't think about all that? Think I didn't consider how valuable Gibbs was? And even Bijan might crack the list. Just because he wins you a league from 1. He's secure as can be. He wins you a league from 1. But Bijan's, you know, Bijan's Bijan. He's always going to be, this show, no one likes Bijan like we do. No one's called what we've called, predicted what we've predicted, and endured the lows too. His rookie year being running back 9 when we predicted greater. We took the L on that. If we're going to be the highest on Bijan, we also have to take the L on his rookie year, and we did. But now we're doing it live.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring
Bond is better than Worthy. Smitty will chew them words. Who said Bond's better than Worthy? What are you talking about? Do you even know what you're saying? Bond is Bond better than Golden? Do you mean? Why are you throwing things out there that aren't true? I'd never talk about Worthy. We love Worthy. What are you even saying? You don't know what you're saying. It's all right. Go take a little break. Go take a little break. All right. I'll see you all tonight. Don't forget to get on over to my thefantasyfootballshow.com. Do it live. This is the rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, all that stuff that'll help you win a league. Let me drop that link in the live chat. It's also in the description of every single video. So make sure you sign up on Underdog. Also, because we'll be drafting tonight. So Underdog, promo code Smitty. That link is pinned. And then my Patreon, which is a 365, 24/7 live chat. Boom. Hit it. Do it live. See you on the Patreon right now. Anybody that jumps on the Patreon will be chatting with me live right now. Do it live. See you tonight. Midnight Eastern. A little bit after midnight Eastern because it's literally an hour from now. So it's probably going to be like an hour and a half from now. All right. See you at midnight, 12:30-ish.